On tonight's episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about a lot of games we've been playing recently. Natalie does another Nook segment for us, and then we end the show with our top 5 games we've only played once. Stay tuned. Well, hello there, gamers, and welcome to episode 59 of the Gamecasters, the show that my boss once referred to as that band you're in, and my grandma responded totally to after a long pause when asked if she'd listen to us. So episode 59, you know what that means, Natalie? Only 10 episodes left until it's finally not just socially acceptable, but socially expectable for me to make sexual innuendos all episode long and hard. But until then, all my sexual innuendos will have to remain unacceptable, like Michael Scott calling himself little kid lover on that dating site he signed up for. So what do you guys like better, laughing or sex?
What? Like both
of these are so awesome, but putting them together is usually disastrous. Making someone laugh, the best. Having sex, the best. Making someone laugh while having sex, humiliating.
The worst.
Making someone sex while laughing, criminal. Any other thing that separately are great but together are terrible like that, do you guys know of? I guess sex and everything else that's not sex is probably... Like, what else do you put together that's separate on their own, awesome, and then together sucks?
Oh, there's a lot of food probably.
Yeah, food
like
combinations is kind of what I
that are both like, so...
They're like great separate, but together would be gross.
Yeah, so it's either food or stuff with sex. Usually, or food and sex together. Like, man, pizza's so good, but do you want to have pizza while you're having? Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I kind of would too. Actually, especially if you're
say
like,
no.
If you're doggy style.
Okay.
And she can't
okay.
see. All right. Anyway, so I have an embarrassing story to tell.
What time are we at? A minute? 98 seconds?
I know.
We already lost our...
Yeah.
You're
already like speechless.
Yep. Now
that's why I created a network so I can do whatever the I want. I'm beholden to no man or woman. So anyway, I have an embarrassing story to tell. One time, many years ago, I was over a friend's house with a bunch of other friends. All of us friends hated our one friend's girlfriend. We'll call this friend Crentist. Well, Crentist wasn't at this particular party.
Is he a dentist?
Well, maybe that's why he became a dentist. Yeah. So all of our Crentist was not at this particular party, and so neither was his girlfriend. We'll call her Potato Goblin. Well, anyway, we all got to talking, and someone mentioned something about something horrible. To which I replied something like, well, that sounds like something that big, dumb, idiot Potato Goblin would do, expecting laughs and high fives. But the room was just completely silent. And it was at that moment I noticed Crentist sitting right there in front of me in the corner, just looking at me like, what are you talking about? And I froze. Like, the entire room lost all color for like 2 seconds as I realized, oh my God, he's sitting right there. I just like verbally abused his girlfriend, like expecting laughter right in front of him. Like, and so someone just like kind of like nervously says like, oh, Potato Goblin who? And all I could think of was like, Rodriguez.
Potato Goblin Rodriguez. We call her PGR.
Why did you think
Potato Goblin Rodriguez?
Prentice wasn't there?
I don't know, because I'm stupid. There's
Didn't survey the room. Survey the room.
I thought he was just kind of sitting there, I guess must have been really quiet, not, just talking a lot. And it was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened. And I honestly don't think he picked up on it. I think it happened so rat-a-tat-tat fast. Like, I was like, Potato Goblin. Potato Goblin who? Rodriguez. Potato Goblin Rodriguez.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then we just
doesn't that just make your heart, like, sink? And it's just like... What did Devin say yesterday? Like, your butt just fell out. Like, your butthole falls right out. Like, in that moment, you're just like, oh, God, what do I do?
Yeah, I was hoping that I would just, like, dissipate into the air. And just be gone forever from the house. Because, like, everybody...
Where did Ryan go?
And what did everyone
gone
else in the room think when I said that? Are they like... What is he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What do we do? What do we all do? What does he do? So thinking about that led me to Reddit, where I wanted to see if anyone else had any embarrassing stories they wanted to tell. Do you guys remember the steak?
Yeah.
The guy that threw the steak at the window?
Yeah.
I've told that story and sent that link to about a dozen people.
Have you really?
Oh, it's amazing.
Did they respond?
Oh, yeah. They think it's the funniest thing ever. It's so great.
I was at work when I read that for the first time, and it was like deathly quiet in the suite. And I was just like, like laughing,
convulsing.
So hard. Yeah. All right. So that story, though, I found that on like the funny Reddit. So this time I went to embarrassing stories, and I found 2 that aren't as good.
Okay.
So I'll just caveat that they're not as good, and they're a lot shorter, but they're still really funny.
All right.
All right. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Was on an airplane years ago with my girlfriend and her parents. My girlfriend couldn't get a seat next to me, and so she sat directly behind me. During the flight, I thought I would surprise her and reached my hand back onto her knee. Slowly, I kept extending it up her thigh until I heard giggling. Looked behind through the seats and saw that my hand was really on the leg of the guy next to her. He saw my face and just said, I wanted to see how far you'd go. Of course, my girlfriend was in on it and started laughing along with the rest of the entire row. Was so embarrassed.
That's great.
How did you
That's
not know it's a
awesome.
man leg?
Maybe he shaved it. Or maybe
Maybe
probably
they're
wearing
pants on.
He's probably wearing pants.
Still.
We're just assuming these people that like
His hairs are poking through
Come
the
on, he's like,
Not hairs, but isn't it just like bigger
Muscular?
than like a woman leg?
I guess if
Who
your brain
knows?
is telling you this is my girlfriend, that's all you think in your head
Yeah.
is there's nobody. This is just my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're not thinking it's like.
And when no
Ricky.
one says, excuse me, right away.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, ugh.
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes up the thigh.
Yeah, that's great.
And gets to the bulge in the center.
Like everybody, there's somebody literally like 1 inch away from her. Like even
know,
if it was
like,
his
doing
girlfriend,
that.
like they'd be watching.
There's a lot wrong with what he was doing. And
Yeah.
so he deserved everything he got.
It was really funny.
Which is
That's
really
good.
funny. All right, here's the next one. This one's funny. This one makes me giggle more. Okay. I was staying at a nice hotel while traveling for work. They had a great pool. I went in there one morning and I was the only one there. I started messing about, recreating the opening scene of Jaws where the girl realizes her leg's been bitten off, then lots of splashing and thrashing around like the shark had come back for a second go. Then I tried a bit of synchronized swimming, kicking my legs up in various shapes, and did a bit of goalkeeper practice by throwing my goggles and then diving to catch them. Then I saw a window overlooking the pool and a family of 6 eating breakfast watching me. I'm a 51-year-old man.
That's great.
I was gonna say, like, is this
Embrace
like a
it, man.
teenager or like a kid?
That's
You're looking
funny.
out, you see the guy like, "Whoa!" Like as he's thrashing
Doing like
around, pretending
synchronized
Jaws,
swimming moves.
or throwing his goggles and like leaping to catch them. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
But that's like that's like something I would do too.
Oh yeah,
Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
do that even like when I'm playing with my son. It's like I'm playing a lot too.
But see,
I'm
it's like
throwing things
you're
around
doing
and catching
it with him
it
to make him
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
This guy was alone in the
just by himself. That's great.
In a public pool.
He just had to own it at some point where you just like wave.
You're like, you're
That's
welcome
awesome.
for that show.
So those are really funny. Do you guys have any embarrassing stories that you want to share?
Well, I'm gonna prolong Natalie's embarrassment. I found unknowing that you kind of did this. You told me yesterday that you were gonna find some embarrassing stories.
Yep.
I found one.
oh, that's right. You guys were like, is it the same?
Yeah, we were thinking like, oh my
That
gosh,
would've been
what if it's the
so-
same one?
I would've kissed
But
you.
I found one on.
Right on the penis
Oh my god.
with my butt.
Oh my gosh. Well, well, this one's also not G-rated.
Okay, good.
So this is where I said this happened about 45 minutes ago. Okay, not like in our time.
Yeah,
but
right.
you know
This
what I mean.
is Reddit time.
Yeah.
So anyone that has an Apple device may have noticed that they do these memory videos for 2020.
Okay.
Anyways, I just discovered this feature and was watching it with my girlfriend. Do you know like these? So it'll like
Yeah, yeah.
take your pictures and
Yeah.
it'll just like
Yep, it
rotate
goes
your
through
pictures.
We
like
have
a,
that too.
yep, in review kind of thing.
Slowly, other immediate family members joined in around after hearing the chill music being played during the montage. We saw some cute pictures of our pets, museums, pre-COVID visits, my girlfriend and I spotting deer, us decorating our new apartment, time spent at my mom's house, visits to the forest preserve, and other no-contact activities we did this summer and fall. And then it happened. About 3 minutes into the montage, it shifted from a picture of a short clip of me sliding 2 fingers into my girlfriend's vagina.
Oh my god.
Time froze. Someone said,
That's so horrible.
That's the sexiest thing.
so it ends with, time froze. Someone said, oh my, in the tone of an antebellum age Southern lady, and I whipped my phone down.
That is horrible.
Oh my!
I would
So then
die.
it ends with, I'm now at home laying in bed typing this and thinking about how 30 years from now this is going to be those embarrassing memories that keep me up at night.
Oh my god!
That actually reminded me of another embarrassing story I could tell.
Okay, do it.
Oh.
I can't. It hurts.
Okay.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah. What do you mean? Are you allowed? Wait. Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. Don't say the part about. Okay, we have a very similar story. Let me tell it because I'm going to be more delicate with it.
Well, I'm not going to.
Ryan's going to be more delicate than you.
I don't think you will.
Okay,
I know it was
but
just
this
strange.
is my story that I was going to tell.
Well, it's her story because it belongs to her. That's why.
Uh-oh.
All right, we have a similar story, Jeff, to this thing you just read. It's not quite sliding
as
two fingers into your friend's.
Okay, it's similar.
But we have, you put on a Google Fire Stick, not Google Fire, Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just denigrated the Google name by combining them with Amazon. You can cast your photos on your phone to your TV.
It's like a screensaver when your TV is like...
Yeah, so just like this girl in the store, we have pictures of the kids, pictures of us
No,
smiling.
it's basically whatever's in Ryan's camera roll or whatever.
Pictures of the kids, pictures of us smiling, pictures of games, some of that. So my sister was over one day. And she's just like, oh, look, these pictures. And we're just like sitting there looking together. And all of a sudden the pictures change from the kids to a shot of our bedroom. And one of Natalie's devices is front and center.
Just hanging out.
Really?
Is front and center in the bed. Yeah, it just like pops up on the 55-inch TV. And Jen's just like, oh my, and a Southern lady antebellum.
Yeah. Oh my. What were you taking a picture of that? And you were just like,
no, there's something worse that I don't know if I should say.
Okay, maybe off the air. Got it.
The recording.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to know what's worse, contact me and I'll tell you what's worse about that already worse story. It might. Yeah, it's probably not what you think.
Oh.
It's definitely not what you think.
It's potentially criminal, so we're not going to say it out loud.
Oh boy.
You don't think so? It seems pretty criminal. Anyway, those are our embarrassing stories.
Mistake.
Wait, that's not even the story I wanted you to tell.
I know. That other one is stupid.
It's stupid, but it's so funny. You don't want to tell it? It's fine if you don't want to tell it. Okay, also, for our Patreon backers, we have a spaghetti sauce story that if you would like to know, you contact me, and if you're a Patreon backer, you will receive that story.
Fine, I'll tell it. It's really stupid, though.
it's
It's not as good as any of these other ones.
Well, I mean, how can you top your family watching two fingers slide into your girlfriend's vagina?
Yeah, that's rough. It's not.
Yeah,
That's
horrible. That'd be so...
Can you believe out of all the stories that were told, mine were the most tame?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
All right.
the story is just... There was one time I was going to the movies and I was like meeting these two people for the first time, like new friends that like they were like friend of my friends, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go to the movies or whatever. And like right before we went to the movies, me and my friend went out to dinner at Big Boy, and every time I go to Big Boy I always get the spaghetti.
Gross. God, that's gross.
It was a childhood thing. Like,
But you're not a child anymore.
like no, but like when you like go somewhere and you eat it like your
she's
whole
a child.
childhood,
Yeah,
and then you
I
go
get
there
it.
again, and that's just like what you get.
Yeah.
So then we're like show up to the movie theater, and we're like right in front of the building.
But you've been talking a lot, right?
And we like meet up with the friends, and like they introduce me, and we're like chatting, and then we all turn to walk into the theater, and my friend just turns to me and goes, "By the way, you got spaghetti sauce like all over your face." I was like, "Why
By the way.
tell me that?"
Because I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
First time she meets you new friends, there's just spaghetti sauce all over her mouth. Hello, how are you doing? We just went to Big Boy.
I get the spaghetti.
I mean, I was probably like 22 years old or something.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I imagine it like on your forehead.
Yeah,
and like,
I imagine like just a pasted ring around her mouth.
Yeah, it's probably
like all the way up to her nose.
My like lips are
you
probably
had Kool-Aid
really
too, and you got like the Kool-Aid
Yeah,
lips.
right, exactly. You look like the Joker a little bit from Batman.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
that is
I'm like sore.
really, really funny.
My stomach hurts.
That was one of the best intros we've had in our 59 episodes. Only 10 more, Natalie.
Oh my god, I'm scared for that episode.
I know. Is that in our contract, or can we opt out of
You
that
can't
one,
opt
or-
out. I'm so sorry. That was the first thing I wrote in your contract. So maybe the biggest problem plaguing the world right now is what to do with the heaps and heaps of disposable income we all have, right? Don't you just hate it when you're trying to go walk around your house and you keep tripping over all your stacks of cash?
Yeah.
Isn't that the
It's really a
worst?
pain.
Well, I have the solution for you. The Gamecasters have started a Patreon. Simply go to patreon.com/the Gamecasters to find 4 different tiers of self-hindrance built specifically to help you rid yourselves of your Scrooge McDuck-like hoarding. Why swim in a vault of gold coins when you can swim in laughter and entertainment for years to come, simply with your generous donations? In all seriousness, if you were ever looking to support the show, all we've ever asked is for you to listen and share with your friends. And that's seriously everything you need to do for us. And we love that. But if you have no friends, then supporting us monetarily is now an option. What we're trying to do is grow. We want to provide more for you all. Every 2 weeks is great, and great is okay, but amazing would be great. And what better way to become amazing than to upgrade our equipment, to provide us with means to reach you all in mediums other than audio only. We have so many ideas for how to grow the show and do more for this community that we all love so much, except Jeff. And unfortunately, a lot of those things require money.
Except Jeff.
So, yeah, except Jeff. Yeah, except Jeff. So if you at all like what we do, we will continue to provide that content for you for free. As long as we're all having fun, it's going to keep going. We will never outright ask anyone for money, and please know that is not what I'm doing right now. But if you wanted to support us and weren't exactly sure how to do so, this is another way you can do that. Your generous contributions will yield exclusive content like videos, songs, swag, priority on future giveaways, and much, much more. So again, we will never ask directly for money, but we will at least make it available to you indirectly. Again, simply head on over to patreon.com/the Gamecasters to donate. So, have you been playing some games?
Yep.
Have you been
Next
playing
question.
some games?
Yes.
I've been playing some games
Yeah,
too.
you guys
Want to
really
hear about
have
it? Here we go.
I do.
My goodness. So, coming up shortly here, the Gateway Network is hosting the first ever Instagram Gaming Awards.
Yeah.
And we're starting with the best games of 2020. To be able to adequately contribute to those awards, and as the organizer of these awards, I felt it necessary to probably play some of the games widely considered to be up near the top of the heap. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, Natalie and I finally got to play The Lost Ruins of Arnak. When this game was first announced, I had no interest in it. Mostly because of the name. The Lost Ruins of Arnak to me just sounded like a very generic, nerdy title. And I scoffed at it, because I'm better than all of you. With a downturned nose and an accent like the kid who dated Darla in The Little Rascals, I set the game on the table, and boy, was I awesome. It was awesome. In The Lost Ruins of Arnak, players are deck building and worker placing and exploring and fighting and fornicating and ejaculating and smoking and eating and napping their way to victory, trying to be the first to discover the Lost Ruins of Arnak Temple.
I didn't know that about that game.
I picked up on that.
Well, you didn't read the rulebook. I didn't do all the flavor text.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that game is bullshit. Oh, okay.
Basically, on your turn, you have a hand of cards that you can use for either their movement icon to go to a different place on the board with one of your two workers, or for the action printed on the card itself, which might let you do a number of different things. There are also a myriad of free actions that you can use to chain things together, which, if you know me, I love doing. The things you can do are gather resources, explore the island, fight monsters, ascend a temple track, and collect new cards. And let me tell you that literally everything you do in this game is just pure fun. The entire time I was playing this game, it was just so much fun.
Yeah. I think it was like the second turn of the entire game, and he was like, this is so much fun.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, isn't this great? Getting resources is fun because the resources are so overproduced and fun to handle. But more than that, the things you can do with your resources make you tremble with delight for your turn to come around again. Exploring is super fun as you get to gain the benefit of the exploration immediately, and then you get to draw a monster tile and see what awesome artwork is on that tile that's coming out to defend the space you just explored. It's the perfect amount of theme for me as well. I don't have to have a long, drawn-out narrative that's just really very mediocre and pretend like it's cool. It's an inherent theme that you can create yourself. You go exploring and you find a monster. Makes sense. Love it. Your rewards for fighting the monsters are enough that you could even build a strategy around that and be a monster hunter all game. Then there are these cards you can buy to put into your deck, only they don't go into your deck like a regular deck builder, where things go in your discard pile first. That's like regular deck building. You buy a card, it goes in your discard pile. Yeah. When you run out of cards, you shuffle and put them back, right? In this game, there's some cards you buy, you just put them directly underneath your deck. And then any cards you play in the round go in front of you, and then at the end of the round, you shuffle those cards and then put them underneath your deck again. So cards you buy will come out before cards you just played. Okay. Does that make sense?
That's cool. That's like Aeon's End has when you buy cards, you go right on top, which is kind of cool. So I like that, like that little shift sometimes.
Agreed. It's enough to sort of change the deck building mechanism
feels
a little bit.
Different.
Just enough to make it feel a little different because there's not, so you really don't have a discard pile. You have, you kind of do because you're playing cards to the table. It's really your played area, and then you shuffle those up and put them all into your deck.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool and fresh take on that mechanism I really liked.
Fresh.
That's fresh. Then there's this temple track you're both going up on that both gives you benefits every so often, which you can use to do more stuff, but also getting up the highest on that track yields massive victory point potential, which if you sleep on, you might lose. Things I like.
Why did you just point at me when you said
No,
that?
it was like I was doing one of these hand
He's
gestures.
like, you might lose.
Oh, did you lose?
Yes,
Yeah,
because of that.
But well, okay, that was like the. Is it me?
Yeah, it
Is
was
it my turn?
subconsciously
Yeah,
pointing
I was
at you.
subconsciously pointing at you.
I knew.
And not getting angry when you called it out. So this game, like I said, was just pure fun and joy to play. These are things I liked. It's so streamlined and simple to play. Rarely are you in the rule book and stopping the game to figure out how to proceed due to ambiguity. It's very intuitive. Simply take an action by either moving your worker or doing what the card says, and then take some free actions if you want. Boom, done. The artwork and presentation of the game are stellar. The components, incredible. They're very tactile, chunky, evocative, and fun. The mechanism of putting the cards directly underneath your deck adds kind of a lot of strategic moments to the game. Mostly, I love that you can have turns where you do one thing and it turns into 5 things. And that's possible in this game, and it happens multiple times throughout, and it feels so satisfying when you pull it off. Things I didn't like. There isn't really much about this that I didn't like. It was definitely lighter than I anticipated, but it wasn't too light or anything like that. But if I had one potential complaint, I guess it would be that temple track thing that I talked about earlier, which is pretty imperative to victory. It was probably the least fun part of the game. It wasn't boring or anything, but for me, it was the least fun. The fun for me was exploring, getting the cards, creating the massive turns of awesomeness, and the tracks were just necessary and a bit dull, just a bit. All that aside, I love the game. I love it. And I definitely see why so many people are calling it their game of the year. The more I've thought about this, the more I like it even more, and I want to play it again. It's a keeper for sure, and I cannot wait to get it out again soon. What did you think, Natalie?
We had a lot of very similar thoughts as usual. This game is just one of those games, like you said, that it's just fun to play no matter how you're doing. It's just enjoyable. I like how we played 2 different strategies and we're still pretty competitive, you know?
Yeah.
My biggest downfall was starting up that temple track too late and I couldn't quite catch up. And so you got, like you said, a massive amount of points where I got almost to the top, but because I started a little too late, I couldn't really go further.
And you got a lot of points in other ways.
Yeah. So I did a lot of exploring, which gave me those 3-point tokens, and I got a lot of points that way. The shifting of the card ratio was interesting. Every round, you know, all of a sudden you have less. I don't remember the names.
Yeah, there's the there's 2 different types of cards. I can't remember the terminology for them. Basically, one are artifacts and the other are like temple cards or something like that. I can't remember what the names are.
Yeah, so you start off with like 4 temple cards and 1 artifact card, and after round 2, there's 2 and 3, and you know, so on.
Item and artifacts, I think. Item cards and artifact cards. Right. That's a good point.
I feel like you got a lot of cards.
I did.
And I didn't pick up a lot of cards. I actually did like the track. For me, it felt like it always gave me a goal of what resources to collect. And at the end, I kind of like I said, I started a little late. So towards the end, I kind of cruised up the track really quickly, which was kind of fun and felt really good for me. Instead of kind of like steadily doing it throughout the whole.
Like I did, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I had a great time playing this game, and I wanted to play it again the very next day. So
it's safe to say you liked it,
like
huh?
You, yeah.
It's 10% of the 10%.
10% of the 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
Natalie, did you follow that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game. I'm not ready to call it my game of the year, but it's a great game.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask, because when to bring the insties back up, we can submit up to 5, right, for our choice. Do you think that this has a possibility of being in that 5?
Yes.
Is it already there? Are you saying yes? Like yes?
Yes.
I think when I think
yes, it has a possibility.
I think when I submit my top 5 games of the year games, I think that is going to be one of the 5.
Wow.
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 Probably most of them will be the games that we played this month.
Yeah, no, that's another thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I feel like for a while, for the last couple months, every game we played was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay. The last 5 or 6 games we played have hit.
Yeah.
Really hit to spoil my future games I'm going to talk about. They hit for us. So, all right, Jeff, that was Lost Ruins of Arnak. What do you have for us?
Let me talk to you about a game from 2017.
All right.
That if
Way
the
long
insties
ago,
were
Stone
around,
Ages.
I'm still not 100% sure I would have nominated this. But
Before
anyway,
your son was born.
yes, pre-child. When did I get married? Pre-marriage and
Pre-ownership.
yeah. So this game is called Calimala. So Calimala is from Stronghold Games. It has a designer that you know, Fabio Lopiano.
I know him. What do I know him from?
You know him from Ragusa.
Okay.
And a game that's sitting over there unplayed that you're very excited to play called Merv.
Oh, that's the Merv. That's the
Merv
Calimala guy.
According to I don't know. I just looked.
I knew
up
it
on
was the
BGG
Ragusa
sometimes.
guy, but I forgot the Ragusa guy and the Calimala guy were the same guy.
And the Merv guy.
So the Merv guy, the Calimala guy, and the Ragusa guy are the same guy.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
and Merv is not the person.
Not the guy from Home Alone.
Not from Home Alone. Yeah. So
That's Marv.
I was able to get Calimala, and Ryan and I kind of talked about this game a while ago, right? It was one of those games that we just kind of were like, okay, and it just never seemed to get in either of our collection. We never seemed to play it, and I had the opportunity to play it.
Well, it was like just off of our radar, I would say.
Yeah.
Of our purchasing radar. We have like a what's it called? A research radar. And then a little bit smaller circle is a purchase radar. And it was like just off of the purchase radar.
Yeah, because it was on the, hey, did you check this game out? And they're like, yeah, let me look at it. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was attracted to it at first because I like the box cover. It's got the art on the box cover is cool. The board and everything else is very boring, but I'll get there later. But the box art I think is beautiful. And then they had a deluxe or upgrade component that you could buy these little wooden buildings. Almost like if you've ever bought like a wooden insert, like Broken Token or something like that. They were almost made like that, and you glued them together, and the buildings were there, which is pretty cool. I don't have that. But so it is a worker placement area control game, and when you say area control, it's not dudes on a map, right? This is more like just having presence in area. I think when I always think of area control, I think of you rolling dice and fighting and combat more than that.
I think of like Belfort.
But
okay,
yeah, this is more of like having presence, which would kind of be like Belfort,
like gifts.
Yeah.
Presents?
Yeah, like presents.
Here's your present.
Yeah. It's for 3 to 5 players, so it actually took me a little longer to play because Devin and I couldn't just play the two of us, right? It has to be 3 at least. So I was able to pick it on a game night a couple weeks ago, so I was really excited to get to the table. It plays really well with 3. I'm excited to play it with more because I think there's going to be a lot more competition. But, so, Ryan, this is the theme. Are you ready for this? Because I know we've been talking about the amazing themes that these games come up with. Players take the role of cloth merchants, assigning their workers to the streets of Florence.
Why?
I know.
Isn't that great?
Who sits down and is like, okay, I got a new game. I got a new game.
I got it.
What do the people want?
I know.
Dragons? No.
Cloth
Zombies?
merchants.
No. What if you're selling fabric?
Yeah. Oh, bingo.
Yeah.
Write it down. Write it down.
Sell that shit.
So it's from 2017, so it's not like it's an old game.
I know it has a very like early on gamer theme, right?
Orlean.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So the board is broken up into 4 sections. So the one section has these buildings, okay, that would have been those cool wooden things, but I don't have those. There's another part that are the streets of Florence that you're going to be sending your workers to, right?
Yep.
There is a map of the area around Florence.
These are each of the 4 sections you're talking about?
Yeah, there's 4 different sections. And then the last one are a bunch of scoring tiles. Okay, so you have tiles, a map, the streets, and buildings.
Love it.
Okay. So players take turns placing their workers, which are just these little tiny discs, which again, nothing fancy to them, on the 3x3 grid of the streets. So the streets of Florence are a 3x3 grid.
Okay.
And you place your worker in between 2 adjacent action spaces.
No, you're right. Adjacent
action spaces. That was kind of hard to say, but
like
quick.
Magician.
Adjacent action spaces.
Yeah, adjacent action spaces. So you have to put them in between 2 of them.
Okay.
So the actions are like normal kind of worker placement sort of games. They're getting resources, and they're essentially delivering those resources to the places on the map, delivering them to the buildings, and upgrading the stuff that you can hold or the boats, like upgrading your own stuff or delivering the stuff to the different areas on the board. So those are the 2 actions. You get both adjacent actions. What's great, and I really liked about this game, is that everybody just goes in circles placing their workers. So there's no like necessarily a break in rounds or resetting. And so if I place my worker down, Ryan places his worker. He can put his worker on top of mine. Take the same 2 actions. Yeah. And then every worker underneath also activates those same 2 actions.
Oh, cool.
So so Ryan might take, a wood and a cloth, and then it would activate then my worker underneath, and then I would get to take
So that's a decision point for me. Do I want to go there because you're going to get the same
exactly, or
you're gonna get stuff too?
If I waited again, I could go on top of my own, and then I would activate mine twice.
That's cool.
Damn.
Which is pretty cool. It was
and then what kind of a menage are those guys?
It would just
having?
be, man,
even a new
especially when
action.
you're with yourself.
Yeah. 2 of me. This is awesome.
That's normally how my games go. I'm just by myself.
Oh my God.
So, Natalie? No, I'm just kidding.
Any comments?
They're also...
No, sounds about right.
Is that what Jerry would say? That we're just pretending to be Natalie anyways? So that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
What's great also is, so I have my like 12 yellow workers, because that's my color would be. Ryan would have 12 green. We also get, Natalie would have the other color unless Ryan made her, whatever.
If they're the 4 normal, like red, yellow, green, blue, I take green, Natalie takes red, unless if there's a different, like out of the blue color, like
purple,
like a purple or an orange or a black, then she can have green and I get that. That's our system.
Sometimes I want purple, and he's like, no, I get purple. This is the system.
This is the system.
You get green.
The system has been set. So Natalie, yeah. So Ryan kind of gets whatever color he wants when he wants it, and then Natalie will occasionally get green.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Okay, you're welcome.
You're making me sound like a horrible green dictator.
So
I give you green.
Yeah.
Just when the system calls for it.
the system we've made.
It's like our
10%
instead of our
90%,
roommate
90%,
agreement.
10%.
Instead of a roommate agreement, we have like a player.
There's an adjacent
color
rule
agreement.
to James' law called the green law.
The green law.
So Ryan gets green if there's 4.
The Green Man Law. So this game is called Calimala. It was made by Stronghold Games. I'm just kidding. Okay, but so now you only have your workers too. And another thing I really liked is you have these white discs as well. And when you place the white discs, it actually activates that spot twice, which is very cool. So then I would get both spots twice, and then the underneath ones would activate.
Sure.
And then that disc becomes non-color, so it then wouldn't activate again, right? Like
Gotcha.
you don't know which one is which.
Yep.
So, and then so the game is played basically as soon as all 15 scoring rounds have taken place, or someone has run out of their discs. And how the scoring takes place is once the 4th disc is played on top of one of the spots, the bottom disc doesn't get to activate. It gets kicked out and put into the scoring zone of the board. Oh. So it places on one of the tiles that you have mixed up. There's 15 scoring tiles, so it places on the first tile. And then at the end of that action, that tile will score.
Oh.
So then that tile, they're basically, do you have majority in the buildings? Do you have majority in the like the water areas or the land areas? So where you basically delivered all your cubes to, those are the 15 areas that are going to score throughout the game.
Obviously, the blue is the land.
Blue is the land. Cartography schools. That's so great.
Arrested it all.
Yeah, so it plays 15 rounds, and if I like run out of my disc before we score 15, you just you'll score all the last ones right at the end of the game.
Cool.
And yeah, so it'll score each individual area, or it'll score like how many total cloths have you delivered to the city spaces, or how many total glass have you delivered to all the buildings. So it's just a combination of this kind of having presence or area control throughout the entire game. And it was good.
Yeah?
I liked it better than I thought. So I look at it and I'm like, all right, theme is boring, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the components aren't shocking to me. The artwork it's not a beautiful game to look at.
Yeah.
I love the cover of it. The cover is very cool, but other than that, I'm like, okay, is it just going to be cube pushing, right? Is it just going to be me taking cubes and putting them in different areas and hoping that I don't get screwed?
There's a term for it. It's called Jace.
Ooh, Jace.
Jase. Okay, it's just another soulless euro.
Okay.
That's a term.
Oh.
Yeah, so you were worried it was going to be a Jace.
Yeah, I kind of thought, okay, is it just going to fall into this? Cool. But I really liked it.
Yeah?
I thought that I really liked the stacking of the workers, that you had, like you said, a decision space to go, all right, if I activate this, I'm going to give Ryan and Natalie a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then if that's the 4th worker on there, I'm going to kick it out and it's going to score. So they might now have more stuff than I do.
Right.
Or
And what if 2 of them are me?
Yeah.
And
it's
you're
like,
going
I'm
on
giving
there
you
giving
a whole
me
bunch.
Double the flavor.
And then there are a little bit of like the tiebreakers are the discs that get kicked out and put on the scoring zones.
Okay.
So there might be a reason for me to put my 4th worker on a space that kicks my own worker out, because now I have the tiebreaker to that scoring round and the next scoring round. And you have to think about things, not only this scoring round, but for maybe 3, 4, 5 scoring rounds in the future, because if I go, we could have a scoring round, and then Ryan puts another one on top of that one, it kicks out, and there's a scoring round that round too. So there might be 3 or 4 scoring rounds right in a row.
Wow.
And it was really fun. And I love there's a lot of variability, right? So the 15 scoring tiles are always mixed up. So that order is going to be different every single
game.
time.
Okay.
The action spaces are also mixed up and shifted around the board.
Oh.
So that is going to change every single
Okay.
game. So the wood won't always be next to the cloth and whatever.
Sure.
So the building, so those all change. And I think that there's going to be a ton more competition in higher player counts.
It goes up to 5?
Yeah. So in 5, there's certain lands that you can deliver to that have spot for 3 people to go to. Like I have to put my house there in order to deliver to that space.
Right.
And if 3 of us are playing, we could all technically put a house there. But if 4 or 5 people are playing, there's spots that get blocked.
Yeah.
And that creates a little more dynamic.
So it doesn't
too.
scale in that way? If there's
It doesn't.
Okay.
So it just creates more kind of competition.
I gotcha.
There's also a very cool thing where everybody gets a scoring card at the beginning of the game, similar to Trois, where you get a scoring card, you know what it is.
Everybody can score for it?
Everybody will score it at the end of the game, which I also really liked. So overall, it exceeded my expectations. I went in going, okay, I might like this. And I left going, I was excited to play it again. Like, I thought about it that night. I'm kind of excited to play it again. Bill really liked it. He like crushed Joe and I.
Yeah.
But that's like up his alley. He just like that
Yeah.
clicked as soon as I explained the rules. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna win."
Yeah.
And so it was. And I also love there's like no downtime. Like I'm not.
That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
I'm taking my turn. Ryan might activate my disc, and now I get to
get
go
stuff
again. I
on
get
my
to
turn.
do something.
Right.
So and there's no like stopping to reset anything. There's no stopping
How long
to
did
like
it take?
It was over in 90 minutes with explanation.
Wow.
It was quick. We were playing and we were like, oh my God, I only have 6 discs left.
Yeah.
How am I going to do anything?
Right.
You know, but now all
Those
these other ones are starting to
that is-
activate.
What you just said there, I would love to talk about that exact thing you just said. That is the best part of a Euro for me. If a game can make you go, how am I going to do anything? Because usually at the end of the game, you've done stuff.
Yeah.
It's very rare, if ever, where you say that out loud. Because I say that all the time in games where I'm like, I feel like I've done nothing. The game is 3/4 of the way over. And then by the end of the game, you've like done all this stuff
everything.
and you've gotten all, you know.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about strategy games is where you feel like you don't have enough time to accomplish what you need to. It creates that tension that if you just are able to do everything you can do by the end of the game, it's boring.
Right.
You want to feel restricted a little bit and stressed in that way.
The tightness
I
of
think.
games is
Yeah.
important.
So I'm
a lot of
glad you
times.
said that because that makes me want to play it now.
Yeah, I would want to play it with you guys too. I think you would enjoy it at least.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where it would fall in the 10%, the 10% or 90% of the 10%, but it's definitely not in the 90%
Or
garbage,
in
right?
the Merv Calimala Ragusa
Yeah. Yep,
trilogy.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
But yeah, it was, you know, I would say the downside, there are cards that if you can't take one of the actions that you have chosen or that automatically gets given to you because of workers on top, you do get a card, which is one of the actions. So you could essentially take another action by playing a card. So there is a little bit of luck in drawing cards. Like, oh, now I draw this card, I can add, you know, the cloth over there and get something. So there is a little bit of that, but that randomness doesn't bother me because everybody's getting it. It's not like you just lucked into something.
Okay.
And yeah, it's staying around in the collection. I'm excited to play it again. I'm excited to play it with 4 or 5. Also, rarely do you get that 5 number is a good number to have. You gotta have games with 5, right? Because
sometimes that happens.
yeah,
You can tell sometimes too when a game shouldn't be with 5.
yeah,
You know, there's games out there like Grand Austria Hotel, which is one of my favorite games to play, but you really don't want to play that game any more than with 2
yeah.
for downtime's sake. But it says on the box you can play up to 4, but you
Yeah.
don't really want to.
I would even say Orleans is probably not a game that should be played a lot with 5. It's just a long.
It's just a big.
Might be just like a lot longer. I don't want to play a 3-hour game.
I
of
always
that,
get
but-
worried when games come out with expansions that add that 6th player or something like that. And I was like,
oh, what were you doing?
I don't know if I want to do
Yeah, but
that.
this does scale. So instead of the 12 workers that 3 players get, with 5 players you only get 8. So you're essentially kind of creating that timing.
That's
it was
cool.
It was good. That was Calimala.
Calimala by Stronghold
Stronghold,
Games.
yeah.
It always seems like when we talk about multiple games on the show, the games we talk about have some core mechanisms in common randomly. Like the gaming menses have seeked up or something. And this episode is no different. Like last time we talked about Castles of Tuscany and Praga Caput Regni, and they both had 2 player boards randomly.
yeah.
You know, which was weird because most games don't have 2 player boards like this that are, you know, core to the game.
On a side note, I punched the Praga, and it took me a good hour.
You're not done yet, right?
Plus, yeah, I had to take a break.
Did the
I punched
gluing?
out. I did the gluing. It was just like it was incredible.
It's an event.
I was like, it just keeps going. Mm-hmm. And then I like unfold, and I'm like, now I got to fold the boards in half and put the things in.
I took a picture of all the, like when I took the punch boards out, put them on the table, and I was like, oh my God, look at this, Natalie. And I took pictures of it, and the pictures didn't do it justice at all.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then
There's
there's like
so
work
much.
to go along with the punching.
Yep. You
Anyway.
can still see, look, here's glue residue. I promise that's glue from gluing the kaput together. Anyhow, last night we had the Mad Board Gamer and the Mad Board Gamette over for a game day, and we got Dune Imperium to the table. I got this game from 2 amazing people I want to shout out real quick, Mick Dave Mick and Mr. Measles. They gifted this game to me a month or so ago and also gave me some cookies that Natalie was supposed to get first crack at. And it didn't totally go that way because I started eating them before I read the card.
They were delicious.
Anyway, these two guys we've talked about a lot before, but it's so awesome when you meet friends out of the blue who become close, lifelong friends. How often does that happen? It doesn't, right? That's so rare. Well, it happened with these two guys, and we love them around here, and it's just another chance for us to shout out these two awesome dudes who both have wives and families. Just want to make that clear. And so we got Dune Imperium to the table last night, and just like Arnak, it's a deck-building worker placement game. It's very similar in that way, which is really kind of funny. You are building a deck and playing cards to place workers onto the board. There are tracks you go up, which give you victory points, and also benefits you when you get high enough. You're fighting in this game as well, and it's honestly pretty similar if you think about it. It's got a lot of similar mechanisms. There are, of course, very key differences, which I'll explain now. So, in the Lost Ruins of Dune, you're racing to become the first to either 10 points or waiting for the combat deck to run out of 10 cards. It's not called the Lost Ruins of Dune, by the way, just so you know. Whichever happens first ends the game. And then you do a little tiny end scoring thing, which is literally just a bubble in the rulebook. There's just a little end game bubble, which is weird.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. And then we see who had the most points. Whenever it does, wins. Like Arnak, you're playing cards from your hand to place workers out onto the board to get you stuff, to turn into other stuff, to do stuff, to get you points. You can also send fighter cubes to this battle area to kind of fight each other, but not really, which I love. In the first phase, players are placing their workers onto the board to take actions that give them resources, money, maybe an extra worker, steps up faction tracks, and then when they're done doing that, they reveal, which is basically passing to gain money and possibly other things on the bottom of the cards they didn't use in the turn in the placement phase. After each player has revealed, the combat phase happens. And during the placement phase, players were going back and forth, potentially putting cubes into the center of the combat board, and those cubes equate to combat strength. Players can add to the strength by playing cards, and then whoever has the highest total gets the top spot on the combat track, and they get the top spot on the combat card. That's out for the current round. Players further back also may get rewards, as the combat card always has 3 different reward levels on it, obviously in descending order of greatness. As you collect victory points, you ascend the track, and everyone can see this. So it definitely becomes a feeling of a race, which adds a level of stress to the game not present in the Lost Ruins of Arnak Imperium. Things I liked. It's not called Lost Ruins of Arnak Imperium. Much like
Dune
Arnak,
Imperium.
I know, neither of you are listening to me, and it's driving me crazy. I'm just kidding. Much like Arnak, I loved this game. I wasn't prepared for how much exactly I was going to enjoy it, but I had the best time. The feeling of this one is very different from Arnak, even though they share a lot of similarities, mostly because of this victory point track. As the game goes on and you're neck and neck with your opponents, and you're one space above or behind them, it creates this palpable tension that you can spread on toast and eat with scrambled eggs. Delicious tension. Where Arnak is just pure fun and you want to skip around the room while playing, Dune is almost head and hands paranoia. Like, OMG, I have 3 more cubes in the combat zone than anyone else. But Jeff seems really calm about it over there and has 2 intrigue cards face down. Does that mean he has some crazy boost to his combat? Do I need to put even more cubes in? Or maybe he's calm because he knows he can't win, and so he's given up on the fight and he's accepted second place. But first place is a fucking victory point, and he's already one ahead of me. Doesn't he care that I would get that point and tie him? Of course he does. He's going to crush me. I need to send more troops to the battle. That happens in your head every turn toward the end. Wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Like, you're just like, what are they going to do? What cards do they have?
Yeah.
They got cards. Why do they only have 3 cubes in there? I got 5. I know they want that. So that's the kind of stuff that goes through your head as you play, and it's wonderful. Natalie, Jeff, and I each were a part of 2 battles, one in which we got screwed over, and one in which we did the screwing over. And it's just that swingy, anything can happenness that I sort of miss from games nowadays. I play a lot of Euro games where there is no randomness, it's perfect information, and it's great as it places the onus of winning and losing solely on you. But the flip side is there are really no swings of emotion, which I also love from time to time in gaming. And in a game like this, it's handled greatly. In a game like Twilight Imperium, for example, you can be left feeling terrible because the game goes on for 8 freaking hours. And to lose at the last second due to a card flip that you didn't see coming can feel table flipping crazy. But in a game like this, it works because of the lightness and quickness to the game. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Things I didn't like. Again, there's not much to not like here, but randomness is that double-edged sword that I'll talk about. It can just plain feel bad when a combat situation doesn't go your way because your opponent just happened to draw a card the turn right before that lucks him into an extra 5 or 6 strength, and then all of a sudden you lose. Now, that happens to everyone, and it happened pretty much to all of us in the game yesterday. But I could see a situation if it happened to you twice or 3 times in a row where you're spending all of your time and energy doing one thing and someone just kind of lucks into beating you over and over, which can happen. That feels bad and can put you off. The game can also suffer in a 4-player game where someone gets a bit behind and then feels like maybe they can't even catch the leaders. And so now their game is less interesting and the leader's game is more interesting. So they're taking longer on their turns while the person who has no chance or is just kind of left to sit there and stew a little bit. That's a double-edged sword to randomness and swinginess. So overall, I greatly enjoyed my play of Dune Imperium, and I think I might even like it a tick higher than Arnak.
Oh,
wow.
snap.
Wait.
So you know
Like
what that
a
means?
tick or a skosh?
I think a tick.
So it's in the top
is it
9%
tick?
of the top 10%?
It is in
10% of the 10%.
10%.
We're not breaking down the 10% of the 10%.
Yeah, we're not
Just
right.
leave it
Yeah,
at the
just 10%. 10%. If only because I happened to be a part of the leaders
So
and it was
sorry.
interesting and fun. I could see playing this again. Arnak, I feel like, is going to feel the same level of fun every time. Dune Imperium, I feel like my next play, I could be enraged.
Yeah.
But it has the potential, which it achieved yesterday, to be greater than Arnak. Does that make sense? But it also has the potential to be... So it's a little volatile,
Yeah.
but I really liked it. Natalie, what did you think about it?
I really liked
Jeff,
it.
what did you think?
I really liked it.
Well, it had deck building and worker placement, which are 2 mechanics I really like. So that was a big plus. I liked that the points were hard to come by. I mean, we always talk about how we like point salad games, and this was definitely not that. But
You're right.
I thought it was fun because it kind of made you know exactly where you stand the entire game compared to everyone else. You know, because like
Yeah,
the max...
you see it right there.
Yeah, it's just like 10 points. Whoever gets to 10 first wins, and it's like right there, and you know exactly how far behind you are, what you need to do to like catch up, and you can kind of like see what everybody else is doing. So when we talk about like liking the opposite of that a lot, but I also liked that.
Yeah,
in
that's
this
interesting.
Particular game, and maybe like you said, maybe it's because this game just did it really well. I don't know.
I think it's good to mix it up.
Yeah.
You know, we play a lot of games because we always talk about how we love games like, we'll say Small World, for example, where you don't know who's winning until the end when you reveal the score.
Yeah.
I like that because there is a potential in this game too, where you don't in Small World feel like, well, I'm just out.
Yeah.
Because you don't
right.
know.
That's the other side of it. Like if you're like kind of behind and you can't catch up, then that's like a bummer. But on the other hand, you're like, I know exactly where I stand and what I need to do to catch up, and kind of helps you like, you know, form your plan. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I thought, like you said, there was really cool moments in the combat. Like you said, there's some randomness when it comes to deck builders, and like it even affected me. Like my very last hand was just crap.
Yeah.
Like crap cards. There was several times in the game where like I want to go to this space, but I don't have a symbol to be able to go to that space. Like no. But for some reason, and a lot of times that bothers me, but for some reason in this game it didn't really affect how I felt about the game.
Yeah, you're typically not a fan of randomness at all.
Yeah, but for some reason that didn't bother me as much. I think part of it was like I felt like I could have done things differently to prevent that from happening to me so much. Like maybe like buy different cards, or like at the beginning I bought more of those
The faction cards?
the faction cards.
The ones that let you go up on the faction tracks?
Like the ones that were just like the 2 point or the $2.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
They're
yes.
not the ones that you like.
Yeah, the
buy
ones that
from
are
the
static
deck.
out there all game.
Yeah, the ones that are
Right.
static. And so like I was like, I bought too many of those early on just because I didn't have a
Early
lot of
on.
money and I wanted to like spend it. And I was like, I think that was a mistake because it like bogged down my deck and then
Sure.
like kind of screwed me over later. So I was like, in my head, I was like, I think I wouldn't do that next time. I might even just like not buy them at all.
I'll tell you this, I didn't buy one of those.
Yeah.
Did you guys buy? You guys bought those a lot?
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
My
Maybe-
last
okay.
hand
Maybe,
had
yeah.
3 of them.
Oh no! And it doesn't do anything else for you but give you money, right?
gives
Does it have
you-
icons on it that you can place anywhere?
Like 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like the blue circle and the green one or something
green-
like
yeah.
that. And I wanted like the triangle. You know what I mean? You know, so I was like, oh, that sucked. But for some reason I was like, I feel like I could have made this not be this way.
Sure.
Yeah, and then it definitely offers ways to pull off super cool and fun turns, which we always talk about. We enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was really fun too.
What did you think in comparison to Arnak?
I think that I liked Arnak better.
Okay.
But slightly.
By a skosh?
You know, like they're like not by a lot. Like they're very
Yeah, like a
close and it's
skosh.
hard
Like
to
a
decide,
tick?
but I would say Arnak.
A skosh, a small amount.
Or what I said.
Or did you like
If
them
you
like?
just shut
Are
up
they
a
pretty
second.
much like samesies?
Yeah, is it samesies?
Yeah.
Jeff, what did you think about Dune
I
Imperium?
really liked it. So to Natalie's point, which I want to expand on a little bit, for what I like about deck builders is that you work to mitigate the randomness, right?
Yeah.
You work to get rid of the crap cards in your deck to add the good ones, and then there's an element of randomness.
Yeah.
And if you don't like randomness at all, you're not gonna like any deck builder. You're just not gonna like it because you have to shuffle and you have to pull cards up. But working to mitigate that is a fun challenge in deck builders. But so this one I really like because I think it combined things that I enjoyed. I like deck builders with a little bit of randomness, and I like worker placement. And I like that these cards didn't just tell you what to do. Like deck builders, when you grab them, you have 5 things, and then they on many
do
deck
what they
builders,
say.
here are the
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
things, and then I just get to pick the order. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not only do I get to pick the order of which I do things, I now also get to pick the spaces that I can now occupy with my worker.
And do you want to use it in game or at the end of
Yeah, and
that's a
then they
good
have
point.
bonuses of passing, and they have bonuses of using it right then. So I liked that. I liked having choices, which also then created a little bit of like tightness, both in like actions where, shit, I didn't draw a triangle. Like I can't put my worker on these
Yeah.
spaces. Can I try to draw more cards early on to maybe get one of those later? And then the stress of watching other people go up on the track, and
Yeah, man.
and then you
that
going,
is
all right, I can get
stressful.
2 more points, but I need 3. How do I get my 3rd one? And watching
Yeah.
that happen, I really enjoyed. I like you said, I like the rewards of the cards that you're essentially kind of discarding at the end of the round. I really like that instead of just keeping them in your hand, because even if it's a card like a crap card you don't want to use, maybe it gives you $2 to buy a new card, and then it's gone for at least a few more rounds.
Right.
So I like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
I like that the game has a timer along with. I don't know if maybe next time we play we won't go through the 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Because we ended, both our conditions were on the same
Same
round.
round.
Yeah.
Which would have ended anyway. Right?
Yeah, so maybe we only take 9 rounds. But I like that, like, listen, if I would have taken something from you and all of a sudden now we're both below that 10-point mark, and to go another round is like, all right, now we're just leader killing, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to do this. So I like that it's like, all right, it's going to end here, or if you all suck, then the game is going to end
Yeah.
it for you and tell
I
you who the
wonder how
winners, or
often which
competitive.
one happens versus the other one.
Yeah, I wonder if
wonder.
there's probably some
Yeah, I
some
bet there's some data
somewhere.
out there to peruse.
I liked, so the intrigue cards I enjoyed. So we did have something happen, and I was thinking about this more on the drive home, in that these intrigue cards have a lot of in-game stuff, and then there's some of them that have end-game scoring. So that randomness,
Yep.
initially I was kind of like, it didn't bother me, and it still doesn't bother me because I loved the game, and it's not coloring my opinion of the game at all. But I thought about it, I'm like, and like you said too, you said that these cards are happening to everyone throughout the game, right? You're getting played, this, I'm taking resources, I'm moving this, I win a battle, you win a battle. That's happening to everybody. But what didn't happen to everybody is getting an end game scoring card. You were the only, so there was only one card that came out to anybody. So Ryan was the only one with an opportunity to
that's a
score
good
at the end of the
point.
game.
I had a ton of those cards
Which-
too, and I didn't get a single.
which I was
end
like-
game
Well, that's
score.
funny.
Well,
I feel like
damn.
I had less cards than all of you too. Intrigue wise,
Yeah.
I didn't
I feel like
get
I had, like,
many,
8 or
and
10
I
of
lucked
them.
into one of those.
and I know, like, all right, me playing one of the combat cards allowed me to win one of these battles, which might give me a point.
True.
But everybody is doing that.
Yeah.
Versus the opportunity to score 1 point at the end of the game is huge.
Right, and that's something
And,
you can't see.
and whether you get it first or last, that doesn't matter because you still have to like have
Yeah.
you still have to do the thing. That doesn't matter. But do I get to start with one that I can use or? But again, that didn't bother the play of the game. I just thought like, well, why don't I get a chance?
It decided.
It definitely, yeah, because I was like, why don't I get a chance?
Jeff and I were tied, and I drew on my last turn. Well, not last turn, in the beginning of the last round,
Yeah.
or the round before. It's one of the two. I think it was the end of the penultimate round. I just drew one, and it was an endgame score, and I was like, "Oh, cool!
What
Here's
if
one."
there's a lot less endgame score
Or
cards
the
in that
shuffle
pile.
was just
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
random.
at the
They
bottom.
just randomly
That could be-
came out that
Yeah.
way.
So that might change with different plays. Maybe 3 people get it next time, or no one gets it, or whatever. So that was just our one play that happened, and like, well, why didn't I get the chance to score at the end of the game, or
Yeah.
work towards something? But that was really that was my only complaint, and always can play because it happened to me, right?
did
Like we
happen to
tied,
you.
and then you won.
Right,
but
like the next game, like,
it's not like I
that
yelled
might
at you
not
or
even be a thing.
McCaskinned you or anything like that. But
Yeah, you didn't McCaskill me. No, yeah, to that point, I agree with you. And that's one of the possible bad feelings that can happen with a game like this where there's all this luck that's existing outside of you building your own deck. If you saw that I had bought a card that gave me a victory point and then no other cards came out, I think that's even different because I'm buying that.
Yeah.
And you see that I have that, and now I have the opportunity to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's just a face down deck that you're pulling from, and it just could be anything, that sucks.
And you like in your head, you're like, okay, if I do this, I got this, not knowing that you have the secret thing.
I had,
that you could do.
I mean, because I felt the butthurt of that happen in our first battle that you and me had, where it was I had the highest total so far in the game. It was really my first battle I was a part of, and Jeff had a card that he just flipped in the battle and was like, okay, beat you by one now. And it was just like,
I felt the same way, like you did, and then you did that to me.
And then I did it to you,
like,
and then you did it to him.
Yeah, because like I
then he did it to you,
I thought I had that
or whatever.
battle, and then you were like, you even like, oh, she's got this, and then you're like, oh, I got this
you
one.
did
It gives
say-
me 5
Well,
more, and I'm like, what?
But the reason I said that was because you had another one face down at the time I said
yeah,
that, and
it
then
wasn't a
I assumed
battle
it was a
one.
battle card.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that double-edged sword that I think I was talking about before. Because I had less cards than all of you the whole game, and I happened to get one randomly. Where you guys, I felt like had a lot more, and never saw one, which is weird.
Yeah, that is.
You know, it's weird. It's just the luck of the draw, which can
But there was
can butthurt,
that was a big
especially in a
stack.
game
There
that's
was a lot
this
of 'em.
tight.
Yeah, and that's what it is. If you know, it's 1 point. 1 point is the
point is
It's
entire
a
game.
big deal.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I really liked it. I'm excited to play it again. Devin was the player that you mentioned that had a slow start. She ended up, I think, having 7 or 8 points at the end
She
of the
did
game.
great.
7.
But
She's the one
She was,
actually
like,
that
one
mentioned
behind
she was
me,
because
yeah.
when you guys went to 7-Eleven, I asked her I'm like, what'd you think? And she was like, I liked it. She's like, it sucked a little at the end because I knew I couldn't win.
Yeah.
I couldn't win, and you guys were taking longer on your turns because you all three could win.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I don't blame you at all, but I'm sitting here like, well, this
I'm
kind of
out of
sucks
it.
because I'm out,
Yeah.
so I don't care about my turns,
Yeah,
and
I
you all do,
totally
and I have
get
to just sit
that.
here and
Yeah.
watch you.
I would feel the
She
same.
did say
you.
she liked it a lot more than what she thought she was going to. Because
Yeah.
she doesn't love deck builder. She doesn't love like card playing that
She
kind
did
of
really
stuff.
well, I
It
thought.
wasn't.
And yeah,
even-
she
yeah,
did.
she did.
It was just that very, very end where we all just kind of like
Yeah.
surged up.
And you kind of said, or what you? I don't remember.
Who knows?
Somebody
One of
said,
the yous.
but
Say it was me.
it wasn't the prettiest looking game either. It wasn't like.
Oh, afterwards I said it. It's
yeah,
not
Yeah.
like-
the board.
the box is beautiful.
The box is awesome.
And the board is like,
The board
oh,
is kind of like
what was that all about?
Very like, what did they do here?
You got a different artist today?
yeah. It's functional.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And I wasn't like disgusted.
No, it wasn't
But
like ugly,
Arnak,
but it
when
was
you're
kind of
you're
just,
like
just,
staring at the board, the components, you're like, it's part of the experience. And in Dune, it's not.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
that
So
is
that's
Dune Imperium.
3 thumbs up.
3 thumbs up
or
from us.
6, I guess. If you count both of our
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah, are you putting
That's
both of
true.
your thumbs up?
Yeah, both
Yeah,
my
2
thumbs.
thumbs up for me.
10% to 10%.
For sure. 10% to 10%. Jeff, what else you got, man?
I got 2 games I'm going to talk about as a combo.
Oh, man.
These
So they have something to do with each other?
They have something to do with each other. Big time. These games are called Unfair and Funfair.
Okay.
And that comment comes from yesterday. I told Ryan I was going to talk about Unfair and Funfair on the show. And he's like, oh, do they have anything to do with each other? Yeah, they have everything
They
to
have
do with
everything
each
to do
other.
with each other.
So Unfair it's a really, like, I think it's really popular. I
Yep.
see this game a
It's
lot.
all
It's
over
a
the
popular
place.
game. It's not a top 100 BGG game by any means, but it's by Good Games Publishing, and it's everywhere. I see it a lot, and people love it.
Wait,
And
unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair. So
Okay.
this is
Unfair.
yeah, sorry. Let's go to Unfair first. So this, oh
Unfair.
man, this game's unfair.
This is unfair.
Right? And it's actually one of Nella's favorite games.
Oh, yeah?
Noodles
Oh,
play.
cool.
I always think of her when I see this game because it's her icon or it's her picture
on
on
Instagram?
Instagram.
Oh, that's funny.
It's that
Yeah,
game is standing up.
Oh, okay.
Unfair is standing up.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I'm going to talk about Unfair first, and then I'm going to compare it to their now brand new game called Funfair.
Okay.
So, Unfair tableau building card game for 2 to 5, where you're competing to build the best amusement park. Which I feel like I've been playing a lot of amusement
Yeah,
park
you
games
have.
lately,
Uh-huh.
like Meeple Land. We played Grand Carnival. So this is another one, and then we played
that's
I
3.
played Funfair, so that's another one. So that'd be 4.
Yeah. Ooh.
So what's
good
what's
list.
cool about this game? So Unfair comes with a bunch of different amusement park themes. Okay, pirate,
Okay.
robot, vampire, jungle, ninja, and gangster. And then if
Wow.
you add in the expansion, it's like aliens and western and dinosaur and something else. I
That's
forget
like
the other
every
ones.
theme there is.
So you just pick all the themes, okay? So then, depending on how many people are playing, you pick that many themes. So Devin and I played, and we played pirates and vampires.
Okay.
So you
that's
take-
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let
It's
me
like
guess.
smash up.
You were vampires.
I just picked. So here, I asked Nella, and I was like, "What is your favorite theme to
Faction,
play with,
yeah.
and she said pirates. I said, okay, pirates.
So Jeff
and
picked
then I just pirates is not one that's very like take that, and vampires is kind of that. So I took one that was a take that and one that wasn't, and mixed them together.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah, it's like Smash Up.
yeah, it's like that. So you mix all the decks up. So there's a park deck that has like the different rides and upgrades. There's the goal cards. There's all these different cards that come in the theme, and you just mix them kind of all together. So you're making one big stack of park cards that have the themes in it. So pirates and vampires are all in one pile. So I'm not the pirates and Devin's not the vampires, right? You're just making one with all of those cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so each round in this game begins with people playing an event card. And there's an event card that there's two options. One is something that usually helps you, and the other one is something that usually hurts the other person or other people at the table.
And you pick either of these?
And you pick one of them.
Okay.
And you can play multiple event cards. If you collect more, you can play a couple on your turn. And you go around playing these event cards. And then there's a city card that flips over, and that city card is like an event for everyone in the game, right? The first 4 rounds are good, and they help everyone. And the last 4 are bad, and they hurt everyone. So there's there's a little bit of building it up, and then the last 4 rounds are going to try to crush kind of your opponent. So each round, there's 8 rounds. Each round, there's you get 3 or 4 actions depending on what you've built, and the event cards might give you an extra action. And you're basically collecting cards and building cards. And the cards are kind of like I said, they're attractions, they're upgrades to go on the attractions, or they're staff members. So when I build an attraction, if I build a roller coaster, I put that card down, and I only have 5 spaces for attractions. I put one down. If I build an upgrade, like I have a movie theater in my park, and I want to put air conditioning in it because that's one of the cards.
Sure.
I then slide it behind, so I'm now building like a stack of cards behind
that's
it.
cool.
So now I have a pirate themed, air conditioned, heated seat movie theater. Though that would be like
Of the Caribbean.
yeah. So that would be one of my rows. Yeah. And the other thing you can do is you can draw like blueprint cards, which give you massive end game scoring, but also penalizes you if you don't get them. And you're basically just going back and forth or around the table taking these actions. So either collecting cards or building cards is kind of the majority of the game. And this game being so popular, they decided to come out with a game called Funfair.
Funfair.
And Funfair, I believe, is my first 2021 game.
Really? So it's a 2021
2021,
release?
like new, like coming out soon. So this is hot.
Sweet.
It's a hot take.
Oh, I thought
Ooh,
you meant
baby.
it was the first game you played in 2021.
No.
First 2021 release.
No, I
release.
think Calimala was my first 2021 game.
That you
Are
played
you
in
double checking
2021?
Funfair being 2021?
Funfair 2010.
Oh, darn. Pick the other one.
Oh,
It's
Funfair 2021.
Okay, good. So this game is Funfair now. So that was unfair.
Okay.
This is Funfair. So Funfair is shorter.
The fun version of Unfair.
Yes.
It's not as Take Daddy.
It's not as Take Daddy, and it's a shorter, lighter, and a family-friendlier version of Unfair.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So the deck is already made. So when you open up Funfair, there's no themes to pick from. The deck is already made with already preset themes.
Okay.
So all those themes are already just in there. You just take the deck out and put it in there.
That's cool.
The setup is a lot quicker because you're not shuffling anything, and you also don't have to separate them at the end of the game.
So they kind of streamlined this whole process.
They streamlined it. So they took away the event cards, so you're not playing anything that hurts anybody else. It's really a solitaire game with other people, right? So you're not affecting other parks. Like Devin kept playing this one card. She picked up this event card like 3 times, but she played it where she headhunted one of my staff members and she brought it over to hers.
Ah.
So then she hired that one.
Yeah.
This is an Unfair?
This is an Unfair, but
Right.
this one doesn't have any of those games. And all those group event cards, those city cards, are all good for all 6 rounds. And it gives you lots of money. It's easier to get money. It's just a friendlier version.
Yeah.
The action choices are pretty much exactly the same. Take those end game scoring cards, collect cards, build them, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have the interaction, which I think if you love Unfair, I don't think Funfair is going to be your game.
Oh.
Right? Because if you're someone who loves Unfair, you love player interaction, you love a little bit of take that, you love having that card you're going to play that's going to give you something or close one of your opponent's rides for the round. You like that, I think. Funfair takes that away.
Okay.
It makes it family friendly. So if you're looking to play that game with kids,
Yeah.
Funfair might be the way to go.
Or
Well,
you
it
don't
almost sounds like-
you
yeah,
don't
go ahead.
like the Take Daddy stuff, or
That's
if you
what I
don't
mean.
like Funfair, then maybe
Maybe
will
you'll like
Yes.
Funfair. If you don't like
Wait, you don't
Unfair,
like
you like
Unfair.
Funfair.
You
It
like
sounds like they're
Funfair.
trying to get the whole of the market.
Yeah.
They're like, we have half the market here with Unfair.
The
Man,
same
this
game,
is really
but for
popular.
appeal to everybody.
What if we do it the flip side, and then we can have all the non-interactive people?
And Devin and I we played Funfair first, and So I talked to Good Games Publishing, and they said play Funfair first, just to get an idea of how the game plays, the actions. And
it's easier
and
to set
then
up
play Unfair because there's more to it. And Devin and I didn't play Unfair that angrily, right? We were mostly playing cards to help our park,
right,
versus destroying other parks.
Yep.
So you can play Unfair just
friendlier.
What it also takes away is you picking the themes, which I think the themes are kind of cool. It's fun to have
you like mix and matching.
Yeah, it's fun to have like I wrote one down: a high quality jungle pirate roller coaster with some corkscrews near the restroom. You know, like to be able to make something like that in Unfair is cooler because you're picking the themes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You also have a huge amount of variation in Unfair versus Funfair.
Can you deconstruct the Funfair decks and mix and match them?
No. Okay. The Funfair is just, it's already set. There's not enough cards to do that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you kind of take out because we played Pirates and Vampires, but if we play Robots and Ninjas next time, or Gangsters and Pirates, that's a different game, right?
Yeah.
There's different cards that come out.
Yeah.
Versus Unfair is going to have the same deck, which makes it a little more consistent, again, for family-friendly version. So I would say if you take that, if you like more of a game, player interaction, kind of laughing at the stuff, Unfair is your game.
Okay.
If you're wanting to play an amusement park game with your family, I would say get Funfair. Think about why you like Unfair before you get Funfair.
Yeah.
That's
why. If you're looking for more, it sounds like if you're looking for more Unfair, you're not going to get it.
Right.
It's going to be almost the opposite experience.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Yeah, so overall, they're both fun. Devin and I both had fun, so I asked her after we played both of them, what did you like better? We both liked Unfair better because it was just a little more of a game.
Wow, okay.
There was a little more of a game for...
To me, it sounds like I wouldn't like Unfair.
I don't think you guys would play mean to each other. And I don't think that...
And it doesn't lose something because of that?
It might. I also haven't played it very mean.
Sure.
So I don't know that experience.
Yeah.
But I don't think that... If you guys played it and Natalie was just like...
ripping me to shreds?
Yeah, then it would obviously be not fun for you.
Right.
But if you're both doing it, maybe it's like, well, that's the nature of the game. The nature of the game is some of my rides are going to get closed or some of these things are going to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. And it's not too, randomy where it's just like, oh, I flipped this over and now everything's
Now you're just
whatever.
destroyed, yeah.
So you can play it both kind of friendly or a little bit take that, or you could just kind of go after each other.
Cool.
So... that's Funfair and Unfair.
Funfair.
Both good. Think about why you like them. I liked Funfair better, or I liked Unfair better because it was a little more of a game. But if you're looking for family stuff, Funfair
Devin agree with
is
you?
good. Yeah.
She liked Unfair too?
Yeah, she liked Unfair because she liked the event card. She liked the game a little more.
Yes,
Sweet.
he's
Just
a
like the
more of a
gaminess
game.
of it.
All right, then.
So, both good games, though.
Unfair, Funfair. Check them out. Oh, my God.
Check it out.
I have to talk about this game that could be my most favorite game of all time.
What?
Crazy.
All right, I'm being overdramatic.
yeah.
I'm being overdramatic, but holy shit. This game, MicroMacro, is just
Crime City.
so much fun. Is Crime City the
MicroMacro.
the colon? MicroMacro colon
City.
Crime City. It's so much I cannot stop thinking about it. And I've already been recommending this game to every person I meet. Since last night.
Yeah.
This game is a gigantic map of Where's Waldo type stuff. It's a gigantic, impressive art display of a ton of different situational type stuff happening in this gigantic city. The map's enormous, takes up an entire gaming table, and is just overwhelming as there's so much to look at. It's basically a detective game where you're presented with a case to solve, such as who killed the burger vendor, which is the first scenario you can simply play while looking at the box cover, which is so cool. I won't spoil it for you completely, but the thing about the game is that the artwork is not static.
Nope.
I mean, it's static and it doesn't move, but the artwork plays out more like a timeline of events rather than a snapshot in time.
Yes.
Okay, that's the only clue or spoiler I'll say, but please join the Gamecasters Discord or send me a message on Instagram and I'll send you the cover art of the box so you can play yourself, or I guess you could just look it up on your own. But no, talk to me because it's more fun.
Yeah.
And you can work out the first case, which gives you everything you need to know about the game. That's what a cool marketing ploy that is, by the way.
Yeah.
You're going
Yeah.
to a game store when COVID is not ravaging the world, and you pick up this game and you're like, oh, I can play. Okay, it says how to play. Like, find who killed the burger vendor, and you're looking at the box cover and you figure out
You're like,
this
ooh, that was
puzzle, and you're
cool.
like, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to buy this.
And
I
it's
think
like
that's
only
amazing.
the smallest, simplest version on the box cover.
And the cool thing is that exists on the map. You can still find that
Yeah.
exact thing on the map when you open it up. Okay, things I liked. Oh my God, did I love this game. I loved this game. I haven't had this much fun playing a game since I can't really even remember when. I loved Where's Waldo as a kid. I think all of us who are grown-ups loved Where's Waldo as a kid. I loved it. And this is kind of like Where's Waldo for grown-ups. Since crime is so popular right now, even Waldo capitalized on it. But it's so much more than just trying to locate a person on a map, which is what Where's Waldo is.
Right.
This game, you're trying to answer those questions you do in all crime games. What happened? And you can piece it all together by just looking at the map and following the trail. And oh my god,
because it's not just like
it's so great.
Find the dead person. It's like
it's
who was the murderer? Where did they live?
Here's the dead
Why did they
person.
do it? And it's like, and you have to like just look at
Did they have
map.
a half chub when they died? How does it look now?
It comes with a magnifying glass to answer that question.
Comes with a magnifying
Things
glass.
I didn't like. It's pretty easy. All right, it's so much fun, but so far, and now just take this with a grain of salt. I'll explain in a minute. But so far, it's not really been a challenge. Now, we've played only the first 5 cases, which are the easiest of the 16 in the game. So I'm definitely expecting it to ramp up. But still, we played 5 of the 16 cases, and we did them in about an hour or less.
I think
for all 5 total.
The hardest one we did was like a 3 out of 5.
A 3 out of 5, and it wasn't even that.
It took us a little bit longer. There was like more
just
cards,
a little bit longer.
more things to answer and stuff, and it took us a little longer to figure out. But
it really wasn't.
I wouldn't say it was hard.
Yeah. So this is akin to something like an unlock or an exit, maybe a bit longer. But once you've played through all the cases, that's it. There's nothing else. And it's double the price of those games, but the thing is in black and white, and Jeff was talking about this, and I thought about this too. Wouldn't it be awesome after you're done with it? You have this giant, basically huge coloring book.
Yeah.
It's like this huge map you can color it in after. Or you can do what you do, because you don't destroy anything, so you could gift it to somebody after it's done. Mm-hmm. It is so much fun. So much fun. So overall, my review, what I thought about it was, oh my God. Natalie, what did you think? Yeah. Oh my God.
I thought it was like, oh my God.
Becky, look at her butt.
No, I agree. I thought it was so fun too. I was like, right after Jeff and Devin left, I was like, want to play some more?
Before we left, you were like, get out so we can play some more. That's really what happened.
Jeff was like, oh.
I know.
Yeah. We were like, all right, well, guys, thanks for the fun night. And I was like, let's get back to playing this game. Close the door. Close the door. Can you lock up on the way out? Goodbye.
Are they gone?
It was really awesome.
Fun.
It was really
fun.
fun.
Too, because I was like, I'm kind of tired. She's like, get your ass downstairs. We're playing some more.
I know. I was like, one more.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm looking forward to keep playing it. It was just, it's so cool.
It's
so cool.
And it's so, there's, what did you say? There's 16 missions.
16, yeah. Yep,
so,
16 cases.
Yeah, it's like you want to just power through and play them all in one sitting.
Yeah.
But then it's over.
But then it's over.
Right.
It's like binge watching a Netflix show that comes out and all the episodes are released, and you watch them all, and then you're like, no, I got to wait a year for the next season.
I just watched them all in one
Yeah, it was
year.
really fun. I'm looking forward to playing it more or taking it when you guys are
Here's
done.
another cool thing they say in the rules. Yeah, we'll do that too. Here's another cool thing they say in the rules. So the map you put on the table, they also suggest you could hang it on the wall. Wouldn't that be sweet?
That's cool.
You hang it on the wall, and you're just like looking at it like that with that would be.
We were like
sweet.
walking all around the table because it's so big. So if it's like something's on like the west side of the map, you have to like walk to the other end of
the west side of the map.
Yeah, you got to walk to the west side of the table.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Devin mentioned putting like making it your table, like putting a piece of glass over top of it, and then
like a
having that be
plexiglass
that'd
thing.
be cool.
That would be sweet
You
too.
could like draw on it with like a dry erase marker.
Oh my God.
Man.
Oh,
the possibilities are endless.
Okay, I'm ordering plexiglass today, and we're gonna start over and just draw them all.
Awesome.
That is such
really
a cool
great.
idea. Oh my gosh! So that's MicroMacro by Pegasus Spieler. It is fantastic. Go out and sight unseen. Don't even message me to do the box cover. Just buy this thing. It's like Strike. Just buy it. It's a Ryan. It's a Gamecasters guarantee. That's what I'm going to say, because you can play this with your family. I wouldn't recommend it with like small kids, but kids that are around 10 years old, I think would have a very good time with it. If they're a little younger, it might be a little boring because it's kind of, but you never know. Mm-hmm. They might enjoy it as well. But it's a very, very good family game. It's also a good game to play with just adults. Just your adult friends, which we did last night. Jeff, you don't have anything else to do, or do you have more stuff?
Or even by yourself.
No.
Or even by yourself. It would be a good solo game.
I don't ever want to play games solo. This is one I probably would play
She already
solo.
did.
Yeah, I know she did. She's
I already
on mission
finished
7.
all
She already did.
Natalie.
All the missions.
Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll do sort of another commercial.
As the world crumbles around you, you're probably wondering, what games can I play with my family that are both easy to learn and fun for the entire family, not just the kids? Well, if you're interested, you can go to Brian's Got Game. It's a YouTube channel. which is also a proud member of the Gateway Network. Brian Got Games is a proud member of the GatewayNetwork.com, not YouTube. We're not necessarily associated with them. Anyways, Brian's Got Games is a YouTube channel that features unboxings and reviews of various family and lightweight games. Brian has been doing this for like the past 5 years, since he was a little kid, and now he's like a teenager, and still has his channel going strong. Unlike most teenagers his age, which are out twerking and tweeting and doing other various things with the TikTok, Brian is making the best use of his time by playing board games with his dad, who has the same haircut as him. That's kind of weird that they have, like, I'm not knocking the haircut. I think it looks cool, but Brian's dad, I mean, that's like a high school haircut. You're getting old, dude. Get an old man's haircut. Get a regular haircut. You and your son look like you could be twins, like y'all are clones, like off Star Wars. Like that's Jango and Boba Fett thing going on. It's kind of creepy watching the videos. But anyways, the Brian's Got Game on YouTube. No, don't go. Go to the GatewayNetwork.com to find out about Brian's games and what he's got. Because he's got a lot of them.
So to piggyback a bit off of our good friend and resident snob, Jerry, I'd like to talk to you all about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and the Gateway Network on Instagram. The sole purpose of the network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They are all amazing people who produce fantastic content. We've seen a major influx in members over the last 2 weeks, with 20% uptick in membership over those last 2 weeks. It's a very exciting time, due in large part to our merch store. That's right. We now have a merch store where you can go and grab your favorite merchandise from your favorite Gateway Network members, the Gamecasters included.
Merch is short for merchandise.
Merchandise, yeah. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Simply head over to redbubble.com/people/Gateway Network. There you can find so many amazing items from a large portion of our members. Their shirts, mugs, clocks, shower curtains, floor pillows, coasters, miniskirts, vials of our blood, Jeff's leftover spaghetti, all available for a nominal fee.
Natalie bought. Natalie
will eat that.
Yeah.
You have Jeff's leftover spaghetti all over your face.
God,
Remember when I said...
Okay.
Remember when I said our Patreon was the best way to support us? Well, guess what? You can also support us by being a walking billboard and wearing your favorite Gateway Network members logo, like Dan Jesus Thor, which is like our version of Man Bear Pig, who bought a Gamecaster shirt, or Roberto from Sheer Boredom, who bought a Date Night Dice camisole. Speaking of Sheer Boredom, he is our featured member today. We did an interview with Roberto some months ago, and since then he has gone downhill, only interviewing the lesser knowns like Jamie Stegmeyer and Paula Deming. Seriously, like so many of us, Roberto is equal parts hairstylist and board game enthusiast, and he is growing his interview content faster than he can cut it. Get it? Like hair growing and then editing.
Yep.
He has started a YouTube channel where he's putting out great content and really making a name for himself. So check out Sheer Boredom on Instagram and YouTube to find all sorts of interesting interviews with notable people in the industry. He's everything the Gateway is about. A new up-and-coming content creator with a ton of hunger and determination, and he really deserves your attention, so do it, damn it! Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. It's once again time to put down your crack pipes and beer bongs and listen to Jeff for once, damn it,
God.
in this episode's Instagram Inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram Inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Well, I am the Mad Board Gamer, and this is the Instagram Inbox.
Sounds like the laughing board game.
Sounds like laughing. We just had an issue. So on our last episode, if you remember, because you were here, we discussed our board gaming resolutions.
Yes, we did.
Remember that? We did 5
Vaguely.
of
I
them.
vaguely remember.
Don't worry, I wrote them all down to keep record. So I went out into the world, and I typed on Instagram.
You went out into the world?
What? Yeah.
Did you mask up?
Well, I went like from...
The internet world.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the internet
Instagram
world.
The Instagram world.
And I asked people on Instagram, what is your gaming resolution of 2021?
Oh.
And I wanted to share that because I want people to think about theirs. And I also think it's cool that so many people have one. that they really thought about it and went, yeah, this is what I want to do.
They were just like,
year.
I want to play a game.
Right. So these are cool. So
let's hear it.
Meeples Abroad, who runs a great account. They also have they do really fun videos. I want to say they're both teachers. One for sure is a teacher, but they might both be teachers. They're UKers as well.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And,
a lot of UKers.
Or I'm just lying about this and we'll cut this part out. But,
They'll be like, you're wrong about
so they put stuff on Board Game Geek and Instagram. They're a great account, but theirs is a popular one that I think we all kind of strive to have, is to not have a shelf of shame.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that just something that we all want, to not have that game in our collection that just is so
sits
sad
unplayed
that
forever
don't
and ever and ever?
play them.
or keep it limited.
Yeah.
At least within like 50.
Yeah. Between 50 and 100.
Yeah.
Just keep it in the double digits.
Keep it at least under 200.
So Emotional Cyborg said the similar thing, play the Shelf of Shame, and then spend less on games, so money, spend less on games, and then teach more games to her
Doesn't
kids.
get much less than free, right, Janelle?
Yeah, Janelle. How many games have showed up for you?
Yeah, Janelle.
Zero.
You're already
$0.
making good on your resolution.
Yeah. Just ask us. We'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Here you go, Utah. She also wants to teach more games to her kids, which I think
That's
is a cool
cool.
one.
Yep, that's a good one.
And that seems, I know you guys have also talked about
Yep.
wanting to play more games with the kids.
Yeah.
as
Sure,
well.
that's a good one.
Bad board game covers.
I like him.
Me too.
Should we talk a little bit about some bad board
think
game
maybe
covers?
we should.
Pause.
Phil Rigaud.
Phil, the
Is that
Haitian
his name?
sensation.
Phil the Haitian sensation.
Just call him Phil.
Philip.
Oh, yep. Up.
Our good friend Philip.
Phil's first name up, his last name.
Phil up.
Phil up. Fill up the Haitian sensation.
Mama John.
Oh
Wow.
my God!
No.
Why'd you say that
It's not
voice and then those
episode
words?
69 yet.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're
Well,
ruining.
that's
my-
only
59.
episode 69 is only when it's appropriate. This is still not appropriate, so I can still be embarrassed when I say that.
So you
Phil
become-
is running an amazing account, some might say,
boy.
called Bad Board Game Covers, who is also a proud member of the Gateway Network. And Jeff, tell everybody what he's doing right now with the Gateway members.
Well,
Meet my level of
taking it
enthusiasm,
down.
Jeff.
I know I want to take it down.
What he's doing.
He's running a
is-
bracket.
Yeah.
And everybody, well, not everybody, 16
The whole of
members,
Instagram.
16 members of the Gateway Network are in a bracket that basically honors his account of picking board game covers. So our first round was just pick the best cover. What is your favorite cover?
Yep.
Or do you think the best cover of a game is? And then the next round will be something different, maybe like games that are 10 years old, or maybe games with a dude on the cover, or a lady on the cover, or something. So he's going to change it every single round, and he posts it on his story, and then everybody on Instagram gets to vote.
It's
You
awesome.
vote for who wins. Our host
going.
Ryan has just won his first round
first round in
matchup.
the books.
So he is
Thankfully.
moving on to the second round.
You will be able to see this bracket. This bracket will probably go on for a month.
Probably, a couple
So
weeks. at
follow
least.
Bad
Couple
Board Game
weeks at
Covers
least.
and you just check out his stories and vote.
Yeah, he posts.
Only if you
he
vote
posts
for us,
each
though.
day's person on his actual account. So there's a post made, but where you
Yeah.
vote is through his story. Every day he'll put out a new story, and that'll run for 24 hours. That you can vote on the current person. You're only really allowed to vote for me, Jeff, or Natalie in this
Correct.
one. Unless we're both together, then you can. I guess then you can.
Or
just,
neither.
no, if
none
we're
of
both
us are in
together,
it,
then close your eyes and just pick one.
Yeah.
That's acceptable, I suppose.
So Bad Board Game Covers wants to, as he's doing really effectively, keep growing his Bad Board Game Covers brand, and then start a bi-weekly game night at his new house in California. Remember, they just moved out there.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And just find some close friends to kind of play more games with, which is great. And
That's
hopefully,
so awesome.
once COVID's done, that becomes more
For a
realistic
second,
and
I
possible.
forgot. That was a good transition. And I'm like, what's he talking about? I was like, oh yeah, back to the
Back to the
inbox.
Instagram
There's
inbox.
an
Sorry.
inbox going.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned him, and I wanted to bring this up
Yes.
because another real quick thing he's doing is in his stories every day, since this is a gateway bracket that he's running, he's doing this awesome thing, which is a great way to grow the gateway and all of its contributing members. Is he's doing a little expose of each person. So like yesterday,
that's
it was
cool.
me and Evan from Being Friends Official, and he put like 3 different stories about me and then about Evan.
Yeah.
So before you vote, you can learn about the people from the Gateway who are competing in this challenge and maybe follow their
that's a really
content. It is
cool
an
idea.
awesome thing that everybody else in the network should take a look at.
He's a great dude.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
The McMeeples would like to play all the games,
Another member of the gateway,
which is just a
Play all the
as
games.
as
all of them.
you know. And I sent Sam a message. I said, sometimes the simplest resolutions are the best, right? To
Does
just
he
play
mean all the games in his collection,
this
or
is a
all the
shuffle.
games
every
that
single one. He
exist?
said all the games, every single one. Like he just wants to play
In
everything.
2021? That's
Yeah.
some
I think he can do
big,
it. I think it's attainable.
Big goals.
Dog-powered vehicle
Like them.
would like to play every game in the collection, in his collection, and that he can play solo. So he's trying to jump into the
okay.
solo world and play all of the games in his collection that are solo.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. CP Wilson, Chris said, "Are you counting BG stat challenges?" So then I said, "Yes, I am
course,
counting
whatever you
that."
want.
And he had a few of just like trying to get through his 10x10, increasing his H index.
Yep, the H index is
H
awesome.
index
is
is a new
that?
thing.
You can talk
go
about the
ahead.
H index. So there is this thing. Basically, it's how many games you've played, how many times. Okay, so
Okay.
have I played 20 games at least 20 times or more? If I did, my H index would be 20.
Oh, okay.
All right. So by playing the games you've played that are lower down, you're bumping that score up. Then now I've played 21 games at least 21 times.
Yeah.
You play the games underneath that to I've played 22 games at least 22, right?
Yeah.
So and then it's a hard thing to do, but the thought is if you've played a ton of the same kind of games, it'll be bigger, right? Thus more illustrious.
He's trying to
and-
get to 25.
So
so it'll be
that's a
25
Wow.
games 25 times.
Right, it's a big deal.
ZimV 2.0 has something that I think we all have been thinking about. Play games with other people.
Only.
ZimV 2.0, she's been spending time playing a lot of solo games, and she's just ready to get out and play.
Yeah.
Which
Sure.
So is everybody else.
Sure.
Sheer Boredom, who we just talked about. Do we need to do another commercial, or are we good?
do it. No, I'm sorry. I will stop interrupting
He
you.
says, which he also said on his recent interview with the Meepler, Marrier, Peopler,
Yep.
whatever.
Meepler, Marrier, Peopler.
He said, on fucking Mars.
Yeah.
Like he wants to play on
And so do
Mars.
you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right? That's
So
coming
that'd
for you
be nice,
soon.
Eagle Griffin, if you could send me my fucking games.
Wow.
Astro Jack Bryan
This is new.
says, no Kickstarters.
That's a tough one.
That's a
Okay,
tough one.
I like this resolution. I
too.
like that one.
It's a good one. I messaged him and said, that's a great resolution. I think I broke it already.
Yeah, me too. I have.
Yeah, I don't remember what I did, but that could be one maybe to keep going, like from here on out.
The
maybe.
last couple of weeks.
There's two I've kickstarted.
Yeah, oopsies. Mr. Measles
Darwin
says, make it further in Gloomhaven. So wants to keep those.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
are something that I always think about too, is those campaign games taking
Keep
a
it
little
going.
while.
Yep,
Yeah.
keep it up.
Nestor says, not spend money on games that look awesome, but play like meh.
Yeah.
And he referred
Okay.
to a game that Ryan and I also fell into this and bought the game Planet.
Man.
Yeah.
And it looked good, but meh.
Right.
Right? Miss French Toast, Sam's, I love Sam's, get into heavier games.
Get into those.
Nice.
Just play more heavier
Okay.
games.
Okay.
And she started by playing Ryan's game online.
My game's online.
Sure
It's online.
My game's online, everybody. If you want to play The Samurai Revolution in the Fields, you can contact me and we can
the
play on-
VHS experience.
We can play on Tabletop Simulator together, and that would be fantastic. So that's my game.
Yeah. Ryan James would like to. Oh, no. Plurpy, play through the Shelf of Shame, of course, and try games at least once before selling them. So he
Yeah.
Okay.
play it again, because sometimes we sell games that we just.
Yep.
So
They don't
Yeah.
make it.
We do the same thing.
get
Yeah, we
that,
do.
yeah.
we do.
Swoozle, be more active in the gaming community. Little to no Shelf of Shame. And also get vaccinated ASAP. So there'll be more
So he can
gaming.
play
He's
with
like-
people.
Yeah.
He says, yeah. So he can play more gaming while wearing pants, is what he says in 2020. Because he's got to add something hilarious. 'cause
Yeah.
Right.
He's just so funny. Family Meeple, I'm trying very hard to limit new game purchases this year, working on the Shelf of Shame. So that seems to be a popular one. People
Yeah.
are conscious of their wallet. You know,
Yeah.
this year has been really tough on a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's good. And again, we have so many,
So many good games.
So
We
play
can't
'em.
play them.
Play those games.
New
Lewis,
ones.
Mr. Day 1607, flat out.
yep.
Play more games.
Play them.
Meeple Mentors, start and finally play through the many campaigns, which is another one that's always mine
Yeah.
too.
He just got Ether Fields and he just got Tainted Grail, which also
I think when I messaged him, I said, "What's first?" And I believe he sent me back Tainted Grail was
Yep.
the one. Board Gaming Madigan, Deepwater Joe.
I know that guy.
Deepwater Joe wants to play more games with his family, which I know he's been getting more into. He posted this funny post the other day where he played Strike with his 2-year-old. I
saw that.
3-year-old.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
her little
It was really funny.
Yeah.
She just kept
Dirty
staring at him.
Yep.
That's great.
I
So
think
playing-
that's cool. Hopefully he can get his daughters into being
Yes.
Yeah,
gamers.
gamers.
Yeah,
Start them
pretty
young.
cool. Yeah. Emily from Date Night Dice, M-Stop says fun over content.
Yes, that's
Yes.
a tough thing to do
Yep.
when you are in the media creation
Yep.
Yeah.
part of the world. You know, they play a lot of date night dice stuff on their stories, and I'm sure, you know, it's. I guess it seems like it might be a little easier for them because they're just about having fun. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Instead of maybe like showing off.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, they don't always like. They're ones who are like, we're gonna play games that we enjoy, not necessarily like, let's buy all the newest games and now we feel like we have to play it to give everybody a review.
Be more like date night dice in
You
that
know,
way.
they're just like, let's
Yeah.
do what's fun.
This also could be based on, don't me a little bit, Emily telling Ben to not buy new games.
Yeah.
Right? That's a little bit of that.
You're
Like,
right.
it's limited.
Ben's like, that's not my resolution.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Jim Gamer, last but not least, the Jim, has said, again, try to only buy quality, not quantity this year. So,
Yeah.
and I totally get that. This year was tough on people and got to make sure we have money for real things.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes.
also when you're stuck at home and you can't go anywhere, it's easy to fall into like, I just want to buy everything I see, keep me entertained,
Oh, yeah.
make me feel better.
Sitting at home is not
Easy
great for your
to-
wallet sometimes.
yeah,
That's
it's easy to
tough.
overpurchase.
So that's people's resolutions. Think about your resolution. Let me know if you figure one out and want to tell us, and I'll maybe say it on the show at some point.
I like it.
If I forget. Yeah.
I like it.
So there it is.
Have your meeples become unruly, getting into mischief, tomfoolery, and shenanigans a little too much? Have they begun to wear studded leather jackets while standing outside smoking cigs and/or doobies, partaking of too much alcohol, mead, wine, other spirits? Are they engaging in wildly promiscuous, careless sex, not using protection, visiting the love hut of Stone Age a little too often, loitering in the streets of the village? What they need is some coaching, some life coaching, or in other words, a mentor, a meeple mentor. That's where Jared comes in. Jared is here to mentor your meeples. That's why he's called the Meeple Mentor. He's here to get your meeples back on track, the right track, with Meeple Mentor. Find him on YouTube.
It's so cold outside. Let's all crawl inside our newest segment, Natalie's Nook, to keep warm. What do you have for us this episode, Natalangus Jangalangus?
All right. Today on Natalie's Nook, you know what? We should
Okay.
reach out to Gnomebot Studios and try to get a theme,
Yeah, get some music. We'll
theme
do.
music.
Oh, it's
Will
gonna be
do.
it's gonna be gross.
It's gonna be gross.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You know that's gonna be gross.
Natalie's Nook.
You think yours is gross?
Crawl
No,
inside
but I know
Natalie's
that the
Nook.
way that Natalie's Nook has now been framed is going to make.
Yeah, but Jeremy's
this,
not gross.
Jeremy, are you kidding? Have you seen the Hairy Planet?
Well, I mean, okay, yeah. You're right.
Well,
He sends this picture to people randomly. One time, him and I went to a game convention, and to wake me up in the morning to go down to the vendor hall, there's a text and it comes through, and I open it. It's just his naked belly at an angle where you can barely see his face peeking over it, and his belly is just enormous in the picture. And he's a skinny dude,
Yeah,
but he pushes his belly out, and he
small.
calls it the Hairy Planet. He says he sends it to his dad all the time when he's not answering his phone.
Oh my,
my God.
He can be gross.
All right.
Okay,
Okay,
so
you're right,
we might
you're
get some
right.
Natalie Nook stuff. All right, continue.
Okay, anyways, the theme of Natalie's Nook today is how to teach board games.
Oh, baby.
whoa.
So we've all taught board games, and we've all been taught board games.
I don't think so.
Some people are better teachers than others
I know.
Everyone's the
because
same.
Ryan is so
Communist.
freakishly good at it.
I don't think so. Ryan
I
who?
find that I get nervous when I try to teach him a game.
Ryan Rodriguez.
I
Oh.
do.
Ryan Rodriguez is good at teaching those games.
Oh, the
Yeah.
poor goblin.
I figured there are other people out there who want to be a better board game teacher, and we can probably provide some helpful tips.
Oh, yes.
So here are the things that I've
Wow.
experienced that I feel are essential, but maybe not obvious. I don't know why I wrote that, because some of these probably are obvious.
Maybe not. Maybe
okay.
not. You said maybe. You
Yep.
didn't say
Yeah.
they're not. You said maybe not.
I mean, you obviously teach the majority of the games that we play, so a lot of these I've taken. They're things that I appreciate about how you teach games.
Yeah. Like
So-
I'm never wearing a shirt.
Yeah, and how
Yeah,
socks
right.
are under the table.
Yeah.
I'm constantly eating.
Everybody keep your socks on. All right.
late.
Okay, what do we got?
So the first one I wrote was make sure you know the rules enough that you aren't just reading the rule book out loud. It's totally okay to reference the rule book for clarification, but try to speak in your own words. I feel like it can get really boring if someone's just reading and it's hard to understand and pay attention to the game, to the
I
rules
feel like
of
the
the games.
biggest faux pas you can make is teaching a game from the rule book. That is Don't ever do that. Please. Don't ever invite a group of people over to your house and then say, we're all going to learn this together. Here we go. I'm going to read this to you. No.
Right.
That's got to be the biggest faux pas. Now, before this segment, so Natalie didn't tell me what the segment was, but before we recorded, she was like, now shut the fuck up and let me talk, and then you can come in after.
This is why I was silent.
So I'm sorry about if I came up too early. Did I come in too early?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You did say that, though.
Yeah,
you said, I'm going to
that.
go through this list, and I don't want you to talk, and you can talk at the end.
No, I just meant like don't
Talk.
say your own tips till the end in case like I
say our
already
own
said it.
tips.
Oh,
yeah.
tips.
Now I get it.
Okay,
Okay, now I get it.
All
Well,
right.
I guess we
I
didn't
do
know
want
what
your
it was.
input.
Yeah, we
like
didn't.
on
Okay.
them.
The way it came
Okay.
across was pretty Gestapo.
All right, that was
That's because
Ryan
you guys were probably
Rodriguez's
both
fault
talking
anyway.
and weren't listening to what I actually said.
No, we're good.
Wait, what'd you say, Natalie?
Exactly.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Also, say the objective and how to win at the very beginning of the explanation. It helps me to know immediately where the rest of the rule explanation is leading.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Where'd
I
you get this list from?
Her own head.
Oh, you just made it up.
Yeah, she just made it
okay,
up.
okay,
I just
got
made
it, got it. Right from your nook.
Came out of her nook.
Came right out of your nook. Natalie's. Oh my God, that might have to go.
Ryan,
That's I don't know if I can.
That wasn't a fart.
we're gonna have
This can't be in here. Oh my God, you may as well.
maybe I should have told him not to talk
Yeah.
till I was done
Yeah,
at all.
I don't know if that can be in there.
Anyways,
For the Patreon.
No, yeah, maybe for the Patreons. Give us $10 a month. You hear what Ryan just did.
You can hear Ryan queef.
ew, Ryan.
That's guy. Can you make him cut that? Edit the show over his shoulder today.
I'm sorry.
Putting
Okay,
his
I'm
microphone
sorry.
on mute.
I won't. That's not even recording. Yeah, we're not recording.
This is serious business.
I'm sorry. I agree with that one 100% as well. There's been a lot of times where someone's teaching me and they're in the middle of an explanation and I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. So you're
Right.
saying stuff and it's not cohesive with how I win.
Yes.
Or how the game ends.
Yeah.
That's that. I agree that.
So I think
whenever
that's
I'm
essential.
teaching a game, I put that at the very front. This game takes this many of rounds and it's over. The way this game ends is this.
Yes. And I think that's a very good way to handle it. Okay. Also, while explaining, pick up the... Okay, this is what you do a lot. And I've told you before that I like this. But you pick up the pieces and demonstrate the actions. You give examples, and it might seem unnecessary, but people who are more visual learners will really benefit from this. So, like, you might be like, you take the blah, blah, blah token, and instead of just saying that, you pick it up and you move it to the place where you would put it, like, physically.
Oh, that's the blah, blah, blah token.
Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
know.
Because if you just said
blah.
that, somebody
Yeah.
might be like, which one
What
is
the
that
fuck is the
again?
blah, blah, blah token?
And
I'm
where
not
do
gonna
I
speak
put
up.
it again? But when you like visually see that, it's just immediately clicks.
I'm not speaking up. We have Jeff here. He's going to think I'm stupid.
You know,
Yeah,
and
oh,
like
man.
so maybe some people think like that's not
Jeff Rodriguez.
necessary. Oh my God. Why do I even have a nook?
If you didn't have a nook, I would not have married you. Can I leave that in?
Yeah, you can leave that one in. The other stuff's got to go.
It's not up to Jeff.
We're going to vote. After the show, we're voting. We have to re-listen to the show and vote on what to say. It's contractually obligated.
Anyway.
All right, continue. That's a very good one, Natalie. I
Yep.
like that one
Thank
too.
you.
Yep.
We've saddened her nook.
Sorry,
Next.
babe. Continue.
Teach in an order that makes sense so that you're not all over the place and creating confusion. This may be the order of actions you take. It may be explaining the actions or turns at a high level and then going into the detail of each action. I think having a plan of how you explain it could make it easier to pick up on the rules.
Certainly.
Yes, Jeff.
Okay.
We're on a hand raising system.
Yes, I
I like the hand raising.
So I would agree with that, and also
God.
keep in mind that the order in which you should teach a game isn't necessarily the order that you read the rules in.
Agreed.
Right? Sometimes rule
the
books
rule book puts it in a bad order.
they're different, yeah, or an order that makes sense while you're reading it, but not when you're looking at the board, discussing it, trying to figure that out. So that doesn't mean you have to go page by page.
Which is another example
book,
of why reading the rule book is a terrible way to teach a game.
Yeah.
That's true. Try to curb questions until the end because it is likely whatever their question is will be answered in the explanation.
That's a hard one to do for
It's
people.
hard.
But I agree with you. There's been a lot of times where someone raises their hand and asks something, which I don't care. Being interrupted is not the problem.
Yeah.
But it's more like, I'll get there in a sec.
Yeah.
I'll get there in a sec. It's more times than not. It seems like,
That's what
I'll
you
get there.
say.
I'll get there. Yeah.
Like I'll
Don't
answer
worry.
that. Yeah.
I'll put my shirt back on.
Then this is the last one I have. This is optional, but one that I find that keeps the noob's attention and is just plain
Nice.
fun. Be enthusiastic and maybe throw in some jokes or funny accents. Is Ryan the only person who does this?
No.
Is what I
Funny accents.
We've actually had a lot of really funny and memorable moments during the teach teaching of games because you do that stuff.
Well, I can tell you why. It's not just because I'm a weirdo. Part of it, most of it. Okay, it is. But there's this thing that happens that everyone knows about called the rules yawn. When someone is explaining a rules, invariably everyone else at the table is just.
I do it every single time.
It's just a boring enterprise. So if you can liven it up a little bit and make it sort of interesting in any way to keep people engaged. That might just be a me thing, but I think it goes a long way into just creating engagement and acceptance with the actual rules and can make them a little more cohesive.
Yeah, and especially for people who are newer to games, to like the hobby games, maybe they're just like
suffering.
They're like already going into it like,
rules.
oh my gosh, this is going to be so boring. So if you can make it more fun for them, maybe the experience will just overall be better. You guys got any thoughts that I missed? Jeff?
Hand raising system.
JF?
Thank
Jeff.
you. Thank you, Mrs. James.
Not like Jeff.
I would like to just point out that Natalie's Nook has now become why Ryan is the best.
What? Well,
She's like, Natalie's Nook is why my husband explains games better than all of you fucking idiots.
Well, you have to admit
Okay.
he's particularly good at it. And also, I feel like I can't take credit for a lot of these because I don't explain that many games.
And she does play games mostly with me.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know. It was a joke. I agree. Ryan is excellent at explaining games. It's something that also I try to get better at.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's
right?
taken me
It
years
is hard.
to get to a point where I think I'm
I feel
pretty
like
good at
I know all
explaining
this
it.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I still
Right, now you're good
can't
at it.
make it happen. My problem is like a lot of times I read the rule book and I'm like, got it, and then I have to explain it, and I'm like, what?
Well, part of it is
I just
also a
read?
little bit of public speaking.
Yeah.
Because you're the sole reason. People are just listening to you and focused on you,
Yeah.
and you're their entire facility that they have to understand and play this
Yeah.
game, and it's all on you.
And you don't
they're
wanna-
looking at you. You don't want to
You don't want to confuse them. You don't want to miss a rule, and then that could change. It's
embarrassing. It's embarrassing when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I have an additional one that I do sometimes is that if I go first or on my first turn or something like that, I'll kind of say what I'm doing and why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I'm going to place here, I'm going to do this, but if I did do something else, like just to kind of, or say, reiterate a rule that I already said as I'm doing something. Go, I could have went here, but I didn't, and if I could have done that,
Yeah.
Or if I'm playing with Devin and she does something, I say, that was an option, or this was also an option, just to make sure every option is clear,
Right.
To
So, like,
people
you
who are
know
again.
that, yeah.
Yes,
newer.
good point. When you are rules master, it's not just the explanation and then you're done and then you're just one of the participants. That's your role the
fielding
whole
all
rest of the
questions
game.
the rest of the game,
And so
yeah.
it can be difficult when you're teaching a brand new game that's heavier to a group of gamers and you're the one who's the teacher. Your play can suffer sometimes because of that, because you're
Yeah.
focused more on that. What I like to do when I'm teaching a game also is, to Jeff's point a little bit, during the teach, when I'm explaining a concept that might be a little tricky, I'll stop and I'll just be like, don't worry, once this actually happens in the game, I will go over it again. Don't feel like you have to know exactly what to do just right now while I'm telling you. We'll go over it over and over again. But this is the concept to understand. And I think that can help people too, because a lot of times, especially when I've been playing games with people, maybe even who I don't know as well or teaching a game, I will not speak up sometimes out of a social convention of fear, like a social anxiety almost. And I'll just be like, yeah, okay, got it. Sure, because I want to look stupid,
Yes,
but I
I've
really
done
don't
that,
got
yeah.
it. And so I try to, when I'm teaching, I try to understand that people out there are just going to nod and say okay because they don't want to stop everything, but maybe they're not really okay. So you just reassure them, don't worry, this concept might be a little tricky to you, or I can kind of see that it's, this might be a little confusing, so I'm going to reiterate it as it comes up during gameplay.
Yeah. Or let's say the rule explanation is 45 minutes long or something. Like, no one's going to 100% pay attention for 45 minutes straight. Like, my mind will
Yeah, and
wander.
get it all.
And then I'll come back and I'll be like, oh shit, I just missed that piece. And I was like, hopefully I'll just figure it out later.
Right, like I don't want to
Yeah,
feel
I don't
dumb.
wanna tell them
I
that.
wasn't listening 20 minutes ago. Like, oh god, yeah, because then you feel dumb. So yeah, teaching, I think you need to take all of that into account, and it can be a bummer because when you're teaching a game, you're investing a lot of time teaching someone something for sometimes 45 minutes or more in Lisboa's case,
Right.
And then you get to a point, and the people are like, I don't know what to do. Where one player specifically is like, what is this? And you're like, man, if you just listened to me,
Yeah.
Right.
or you're teaching a game and you hear people having conversations and you're just kind of like, I'm going to try it to be
They're
cool,
missing
but
stuff.
you're missing shit. And, you know, I don't want to have to explain it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Luckily, our group of friends are all gamers. So we don't have to deal with this too much because we all understand teaching can be tough.
Yeah.
You know, and this is when you learn.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we're all really good at listening, but that can be something to contend with as well when you're teaching is. So reiteration, I think, is it's key in rule books.
Yeah.
And it's key in teaching.
Some of these facts and hints and tips go to me just being a teacher as well.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's true.
I've gotten better at explaining rules since like Board Game Club started, and I have to now explain rules to children.
Yeah,
Right.
for
They're
sure.
14, and they're also wandering. Their mind is going different places. They're not paying attention. And they fall into the same kind of thing where it's when I say, does this make sense? They'll say yes, because that's sometimes what they do in class.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
Does that make sense? And everyone in class just goes, yeah.
Yep. But really, they're like, no.
So like even changing the wording of like when I explain a game to my students, I say like, all right, who's got the first question? Instead of, does that make
do
sense?
you have questions? Yeah.
Do you?
yeah.
Because who has the first one? Then someone goes, well, what if I do that? And then it becomes like, all right, now I'll field some questions because you weren't paying attention or something
That's
happened.
good. You're assuming that they do have questions, and then they feel like, okay, he's expecting me to have a question.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
yeah, that's like classroom stuff. But I've gotten better at it over the years
Has it gone
because
the
of
other
how
way?
I've taught.
Have you incorporated anything into board game teaching into your teaching style, or is it mostly the other
Probably
way?
it could it could just like kind of
Yeah, because you're still explaining something to
yeah.
somebody.
Well, I don't teach directly from like a book when
True.
I teach my class,
Yeah.
so
Right,
that would
yeah.
be awful, right?
I've
to
had
just,
teachers
like,
do that though, where
yeah,
they're sitting in the classroom with the book,
reading from it.
reading from it.
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
that's what I'll do is like I read the book, and it's my job to essentially take the book, the materials I find, like a bunch of resources, and then go, all right, now I'm going to present it to my students in a palatable way. Here's how I know you're going to consume this information, and whether that for board games involves me reading the rules, going over the player aid, I like to do a lot, watching a video, and then going, all right, what am I going to do at each part of this explanation? Oh, Rado said this sentence really well. I like what he says, so I want to make sure I say that.
Yeah, snip.
And
Yeah.
In the brain.
okay, this is in the rule book. I want let me just open to that page so I remember, because the wording's a little weird, and maybe I just want to read it from there instead of trying to remember it or explain it myself. Or having that player aid. If games need to just make player aids, flat out. If you're making a game that's heavier than Carcassonne, put a fucking player aid in it. It's the size of a card that just goes through the turn order, right? Or
Yeah,
something. It's
I
so
love
simple, because then when I'm teaching Devin games a lot, I'm like, all right, your player aid's in front of you. This
it's
is the
gonna go over most
first
of the
thing.
stuff.
And then Devin uses that all the time. She looks at it and goes, okay, so this action is when I can do that. I'm like, yes. I'm like, how simple is that to just
Fantastic
make
resource.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say use that as much as you can, because it also, if you forget something, that's a great order to go
Yeah,
through too.
that's true.
The turn order, the player aid is a great order to go through things. They all don't need to look like Tawantin Suyu and be
That
a
one is
page,
ridiculous.
But
yeah.
That one
could
is
be
you
as simple
can't
as a
play the game
card.
unless you have
Without
that.
the-
yeah, you could be
Yeah.
as simple as a card, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
There's a lot more of these. We could talk about this we could do an episode about teaching games.
Really?
And I feel like I have a ton more I want to say, but we should move on.
Okay.
This is a great Nook
job.
question.
nooking it up.
Thanks for letting it loose from your Nook. So in today's game of the episode,
You're welcome.
whenever our prep
You're
time and our record time try and occupy the same physical space, I have to hurry it the F up, and so we can get this game, which is still one of my favorites. It's the say anything other than the game title game, and try and get them all within the time limit. Let's put 3 minutes on the clock and see if Natalie can give them to Jeff, or does Jeff
wanna
want to
do
give
that
them to Natalie? It doesn't matter to me.
I don't care.
So Natalie's going to give it to Jeff.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Natalie, how do I do this?
You gotta unplug
How do
it.
I do this? No.
Can't
you
unplug
can
it.
turn it.
Can you switch seats?
How about
your audio's
I have an idea.
What?
Can you pull up a timer on your phone?
Sure.
I'm going to pull up the Word doc on my phone, give you my
Whoa.
phone. Oh yeah, we're in the
My
future.
gosh, guys, the
Do the
cloud
old
is
phone
just
switcheroo.
amazing.
And then I'll just give you my phone, you give me your phone.
What's
I
the
can
timer
see all
on
your
under
boyfriend.
clock?
What? Go to stopwatch.
Stop.
Under stopwatch. Okay, episode 59 scrapped.
It's 3 minutes.
It's gonna be
How
3
many
minutes.
games are there?
30.
We're gonna get through every one of them.
Oh yeah.
You got this.
10
you got this.
games a minute.
Say anything but the game title game.
Yep, anything but the game title game.
Oh boy.
As fast as you can.
Are you guys ready?
Hold on. Yes.
Okay, on your marks. Get set. Go.
Okay.
Dune Imperium.
2020 game that's like a campaign, but it's like a lighter version of the big
Jaws of the
big-
Lion.
Yes. One of our favorite games with the factions and the
Alien Frontiers.
Nope.
Cosmic Encounters.
Nope. Shoot. It's got like no.
You can skip it.
Okay, next. It's like Burgundy, but the other word, the newer
Castle
version.
Tuscany?
Yes. The kid game with the beeps, beep, beep.
Robots.
Yeah.
Robots.
Beep, beep, beep.
The crime game with like
Chronicles Crime Detective.
no, with you like draw on the back and you can use like a Ouija board.
Paranormal Detective?
Yes. The one with the strawberry on the front.
Letter Jam.
Yes. The one where you're picking bones out of the
Fossilis.
Yep.
Oh, my bones.
That hurt.
The one where we made an amusement park and we all played together.
Grand Carnival.
Yep.
Carnival.
This one that I don't really like, and the name. Oh
Trois.
no. Yes, but the
Trois dice.
Yes.
I'm like, you like that? What are you talking about?
Me and Ryan have played this once, and we love it. It's Feld, and it's old.
Amerigo.
Yeah. Oh right, Devin. The one we played last night. With the
Dune Imperium.
Yes. We played this before an episode and it's like a
Jetpack Joyride.
Yes. How did you get that?
I don't know.
He sees it. He can see it through the phone.
Okay, a polyomino game that's really colorful, and in the box is really
Miyabi?
colorful. No, and you guys like almost bought it for so long, and then we finally did buy it.
Ariella.
Yeah.
Ariel. Got it. Okay.
One of the. Can I say this?
You can say play raid.
One of the T games.
Swans and Suyu.
Yep, that's
Okay.
one. All
You
right.
just talked about the play raid, Natalie.
The Friends one.
Code 777.
This game we played at Nerdfest last year, and we all like.
Euphoria.
Yes.
Wow.
V-Tail game that you really want to play. Really heavy.
On Mars.
Yep. The one where 3, 2, 1 vagina.
Oh, Medium.
Yep.
2 minutes.
Gamer Dog game.
Oh, God. Oh, Don't Get Got?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we just
There's an
gave
actual
this game to Daniel from the game table, and it's right, didn't we?
Gloomhaven,
No.
Shogun.
Oh no, sorry, wrong game. Which game is this?
I don't know. Skip
Oh,
it.
goodness.
it's the one with the stones and the rope. Is that the one? Okay.
Oh, Shobu?
Yes. I gotta show
Well, you
you.
gave it to Daniel. No, you didn't.
We played this at your house, and it's a Japanese city with
Tokyo
cars.
Highway?
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
This is one where you have to find a monster. And
Krypton?
Yep. This is one we've all played a ton of times. It's like a kind of a party game where you have to guess a word. And
20 seconds?
And are you serious? Okay,
Wavelength.
next. Flickety flick and a
Flickety
circle.
flick, crokinole.
And a circle. Yep.
Flickety flick.
Okay, this is the one where you're very judgmental and you're trying to.
A Usual Suspects?
Yep. And then this one is where you like
5
stack the
seconds?
animals on top of each other.
Animal upon Animal?
No.
Nope.
No.
But the one that you got from Costco or whatever.
Oh, Bees of Balance?
Yes. Okay. The one with the numbers.
3 minutes.
The Mine?
Wow.
Did you skip 6 NIMT or did you get there?
Yeah, I skipped it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right, you did great.
Maybe
You
a 20.
only missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Terra Mystica
Okay.
was that beginning one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you missed
All right,
Terra
that's a good
Mystica.
one. Yeah, you're right. No,
took
you explained
forever
it well.
to say Insider. You were like, the game that we've all played a lot of times and we all like it, and it's the...
I was trying to think
yeah.
about it.
yeah, it's like 20 questions.
Oh, well, yeah.
But yeah, that's hard.
When you're not under pressure.
I know.
I know.
I know, I'm feeling you. And then 6 NIMT, and then I gave you the mind. And then
Oh.
there was 2 left at the end.
MicroMacro in Kingsburg.
Oh, Ryan's new favorite game.
Yeah, my favorite game. Good job. You guys did
All right.
fantastic. You almost got them all. You almost got them all.
Yay.
Very good. Very good.
Switcheroo.
So, in today's top 5, we're going to talk about our top 5 games that we've only played once. In the land of the new, there's just so many games you play. Especially when you're a gigantic part of the Main Street board game media like us. And you have to
So
keep
cool.
playing all the new stuff to keep you in the hearts and thoughts of all the people who listen. But there are many of those games that we just love and want to come back to. Think of this for yourselves as well. What games did you play one time that you just fucking had the best time with, but you only played them once for whatever reason, and you want to play them again? So we are going to go me, Natalie, Jeff, and we're going to do our top 5 games we only played once. And my number 5 game that I've only played once, that I want to play again, is a little small box game that Jeff just recently got called Circadians.
Oh, yeah.
First Light.
Oh, now he's got to change your top 5 list.
What the hell is this crap? I
That-
can't believe you didn't
that
tell me about
counts?
that. You
That
didn't even
counts?
tell me.
Did that game count? I told you to share your list with me.
This is a fantastic game. I think Natalie even liked it a lot more than me, so expect to see it on her list later as
I'm not
she
going to
just
put it on my list.
furiously and
No, I
feverishly
just
wrote it in.
on my
Honorable
total
mention.
list.
To mention.
Oh, I gotcha. So that is my number 5. Natalie, what is
That's
your
a great
number
one.
5?
I would have probably put that on my list if I had written it down, but I didn't. So my number 5.
If it went on the list, it would have been on the
Yeah.
list.
Number 5 is a game that we played with Dave and Mr. Measles at Grand Con, and we've been talking about playing it again ever since, called Castell.
Oh,
we would
yeah.
talk and talk and talk and talk about playing this again.
You do talk and
and
talk
we
about
haven't,
it a lot.
and I want to.
Me too.
Because we loved it.
Yes. Grandiose. Okay, that's it. We're done. All right, did you guys
That was a great
listen to the
episode.
Is there
Gamecasters?
someone else here who wants to?
Oh, Jeff, number 5. Wait. Preamble first, please. Yes, Jeffrey.
Thank you for calling on me, Mr. James. So these are my top 5 games.
Oh my God, what was that long
slowing it
pause?
down.
Top 5 games I've only played once. Right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
So I had a
got
difficult
it.
time because I haven't logged my plays on BGG for the years that I've been playing games. I just recently have done it. So when I go on BGG and I look at one played games, things like Zolkin comes up, but I played that 8. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's hard
I've
for me
seen
to
a couple of
sort
those.
through a little on my list. But anyway, so this might not be the most accurate list in the world, but I'm gonna go with my
But
feelings.
it is
Go
okay.
for
Okay,
But they are
I'm gonna go
one-play
with
games.
number 5 is Dune Imperium. We played
Awesome.
yesterday.
cool.
Yeah.
I want to play that again now.
Yep.
Awesome.
So that's something that I'm looking forward to playing again, especially with you guys. I don't know if I'll add it to my collection because Devin didn't love it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's something that
We were
I'll
also
definitely wanna
talking.
play
I
with you
wonder
guys.
how it would be with 2. I don't think it would be bad. I think the
We wouldn't get in each other's
I think
way
the
as
combat
much.
would be less interesting.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
combat seemed really cool with the 4 of
Yeah.
us, but especially when there was 3 of us heavily
Yeah.
involved and you didn't know who's going to win. So I don't know if it would play as well with 2, but we're going to try.
Yeah,
We'll let
let's
you know.
try it out.
But that's a
Alright.
good choice. Good
Yep,
choice.
number 5.
All right. My number 4 is a game I played with Jeff many years ago. I loved it. I want to play it again with Natalie. We have it's never at the table. And that's Sekigahara, the Unification of Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I only played that one time. I can't believe it. GMT, block war game, and it was tactical awesomeness, and I loved it. And I want to play that again. So that is my number
Ryan
4.
will destroy you in that game.
Maybe not,
Probably.
though.
Those games Ryan excels at.
Excelsior.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I don't excel at many, so that I
Yeah,
can beat you in
right.
that one.
So
All right, Natalie, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is a game that I've only played once, but I'm pretty sure you've played more than once. But it is called Terraforming Mars.
ooh,
I've played it more than once.
awesome.
Yeah,
game.
this game was
Yes.
really awesome, and again, I feel like it's almost been 2 years since we played it last. And
when we went to
it's
Chicago.
another one that's been on my play again list forever, and somehow we
Ryan.
just haven't
I
played it
know
again.
exactly. It's all me.
No, it's not you. It's just this
It's
list.
awesome. It's an
This list
awesome
was
game.
hard because there's a lot of games that we played once that I really want to play again. Hence
Yeah.
my resolution that I keep rolling over
Jeff's
each
got
year.
some advice for you. Just play them.
Just play 'em.
Yeah.
Just play them.
You can just play them if you want.
Set 'em
But
up, play
that's
'em.
one of the ones that's been on my mind ever since we played it, and I still
Yeah.
haven't gotten it
That's
to the table
the-
again.
The indicator of a great game.
Yep.
Is that you think about it a lot.
For sure.
That game, I would say also maybe if you want to spend $20, get the Prelude expansion and just put it in writing.
We have every expansion.
Okay.
We do.
Yeah. Well, I kickstarted all the expansions a while.
Well, if you're going to play it only one time, you should sell everything else except Prelude.
Okay.
And then, Prelude is great. That would be one you could
That's
put
one
in
where
on
you
the second
start
play. Yeah.
with stuff already.
Yeah, get your engine
Yeah.
going. There's some new cards and
Okay.
they're not
That's cool.
factions, but you get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
All right,
choice.
Jeff, what's number 4, man?
My number 4 is a game recently played called Agizia Shifting Sands.
Ooh, yeah.
I loved my play of that. It was just really
Akitoka?
fun. Yes. Yeah, and that night was also cool. We played Agizia and then we played Furnace. It was a good night of games, so those
Sure.
were in my
Yeah.
my feelings. But Agizia was really cool.
Yeah,
I
your
love the
feelings.
tightness of that game. You know, you're kind of racing down the Nile, but do you want to go too far and take the sweet stuff,
'cause
or
you
do
can't
you
go
want to?
back.
You can't go backwards, and that I really enjoyed. There's a lot of cool card plays and little powers you can get throughout the game. It's a fun game, so I'm looking forward to that one too.
Very cool.
Agizia.
Shifting Sense. I want to play that one too. Number 3 for me is a game Natalie and I believe, played this at Grand Con a couple of years ago with Mick Dave Mick and Kevin Mr. Measles, and that is a game called Castell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I agreed, Natalie. We talk about it all the time. What a great play that was. I don't know if part of it was the magic of being at Grand Con, maybe, but all 4 of us loved it.
Yeah, we did.
Dave bought it right afterward. Jeff bought it after we told him about it. I don't know if you liked it as much.
It's not on my top 5 list,
Yeah.
but I did like it.
You did like it?
I did
Okay.
like it.
Yeah, I want to play it again for certain. I wonder how it would be with 2. I don't care. Let's get it played.
Okay.
What is your number 3, Natalie?
My number 3, this is another game that I don't know how it would be with 2, and we don't even own it, but when we played it, it was the best freaking time. It was Euphoria.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
That-
tried buying it on Amazon. And it was sold out.
Oh, really? Man, that we had such a good time playing that
Killer
game.
time. That was maybe
And I
the
think-
only time that Joe was annoyed with me for my enthusiasm.
Yeah. I was like, shut up,
He's
Ryan.
like, sit the down and take your turn.
I know you were really into that game.
I was very into that.
Yes.
That was so
that was
much
an awesome
fun.
game. We've only played once, and like I said, that's tough because I don't know if it would be as good with 2. So like I would really, really want to play it again with the same group that we played with before. At some point.
Yeah. Was that 5 of us?
I think so. I
Me,
think Dave.
you, Natalie, Joe, and Dave?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it was-
Dave played?
there was 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times. Jeff, what about you, man? What about number 3?
My number 3 is Euphoria.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Next.
That's great.
It's amazing. And I know that Jamie Stegmeyer on Instagram, like I don't know if the 7th anniversary or something of that game,
Yeah.
but he challenged some people to like go and play it, and post it and tag me. So I've been seeing it more on Instagram as well because other people have been playing it, and I'm wanting to play it because it does. I don't think it shines at 2. I think it shines
Yeah.
at more.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm definitely ready to play that again.
That is very cool. That game, it was a game for a long time. I was aware of it for a long time. Me and Jeff both were. We were kind of like hemming and hawing about it a little bit. And I had read mixed reviews. And so it cooled me on from actually getting it into my collection. And then Jeff was like, you know what? I kind of want it. I think I want it. And he got it for Christmas from one of his brothers. Right? And that game blew me away. It blew me away. I was not prepared to enjoy it as much as I did. So I agree with that pick. That's a good one. My number 2 is a game by our own Stefan Feldkondom that Natalie and I played that we loved called Amerigo. And that another one that just kind of knocked my socks off. And I think it's my number 2 Feld. That's
why they're on the table.
After Burgundy. It flew them off under the table. So that's my number 2, Amerigo. Natalie, what about you?
Well, my number 2 was Amerigo, but I'll go ahead and change to one of the other ones.
Good one. Circadians?
Yeah.
Not Circadians. Let's see. Oh, how about the Magnificent?
Nice. Forgot about that one. No,
that was
geez.
one that we loved, and
A song was even parodied.
I feel like
about
that's one that we could easily play again. It was not that long.
Easy.
It was
easily.
Just
yeah.
play it.
It was
And it's very quick. It's a very
very
quick
quick.
game.
Just play it.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay,
So
Jeff,
that's
what's
my
number
number
2 for you?
My number 2 is a game that Ryan and I played. He came over one day and we played a game called Maracaibo.
Maracaibo.
So Maracaibo, I'm excited to play. I got it super cheap on like a Black Friday, so
That's
I
cool.
do have it. Excited
Great
to play it with
game.
Devin. I think Devin may enjoy it because she's again starting to like heavier games and that.
Yeah.
Got the cool player board.
Yep.
So I'm pumped about playing
Board. Fantastic. game.
Maracaibo.
Maracaibo. My number 1 is a game that kind of pisses me off that Natalie just changed her list all of a sudden because number 1 for me is The Magnificent.
Oh,
Thanks a lot, girl.
The Magnificent.
Again, I parodied a song about this. I loved this game. I was just blown away by this fucking game, and now I'm super disappointed because Natalie just changed the list the last second and put it as number 2.
And your kids
she
sing
said it
that song
first.
in the car.
You said it first. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You know what Natalie told me to do, and I think I should. She's like, make a family-friendly version of it.
And then you can
Because
actually
they
play
don't
it for
care about the
them.
words; they just care about
They like
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to just play them the Macklemore song. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
that's bad
Also
as
bad
well.
words. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, play like an edited.
There you go.
Make an edited version of
So
it.
number 1 for me that I want to play again is The Magnificent.
I said freaking.
Natalie, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is a game that we fell in love with the first time we played it. It called Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Il Magnifico. I thought that might be on your list.
Yep. So
Yeah.
That's your
I don't
number
know what to
one.
say
That's a
about it.
good one.
Yeah, I got that
That
played
one's
back to
awesome.
back pretty quick.
And it was really
You
good
did,
at
didn't
2.
It was very good with 2.
Yeah.
yeah,
I liked it.
It's great with 2, and it's
Better
difficult with 4. It's
Oh,
tight
yeah.
with 4. It's a lot harder
Which
to
did
get
you like
things
it
done.
better as?
I like them I liked them equally, but for different reasons.
Different reasons. Okay.
Like I
So they
liked the
didn't feel
mechanics
similar.
at 2 because it was easy flowing, and I got to learn the game and how to get these cards. And then, not being able to go in certain towers and build certain. It's tough at 4.
Yeah.
So it's great. I would say
Yeah, good
play
game.
it at whatever.
Very good game. All right, Jeff, that brings us to you, man. What is number 1?
My number 1, it can be a cop out. There's like I can lump a whole bunch of games into it. Essentially, it's the T series. I would like to play Teotihuacan, Tuantansuyu,
Oh,
Takenu,
because
and
you played all those
Trismegistus.
ones. I'm fine with lumping those
But
together.
if I had to choose one of them, like that could have been numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could have
That's
said,
right.
I could have been like number 5 is Euphoria.
Number 4 is
and number
Takenu,
4
number
is
3 is Trismegistus.
yeah, Teotihuacan. But I'm gonna Trismegistus. If you had maybe
That's
pick
your-
one, that's the
yeah.
one I would like to play sooner than the other ones.
Wow, I'm surprised that over Tuantansuyu. Or did you play that twice already?
I have not played Tuantansuyu twice, but that's on the list. So
You love
yeah.
them both? Yeah, it's hard to know which
Takenu
one you liked.
and Teotihuacan I've only played
It's
once.
crazy when you liked probably is Takenu your least favorite, and that's crazy. That's my game of the year.
I think that was my least favorite one play, right? Does it get better? I know you guys played it like back to back, so that might help.
Yeah.
But yeah, something clicked with Trismegistus, and that's honestly a lot of people's least favorite out of this T series.
True.
It's like the lowest rated. Yeah,
Trismegistus is usually,
and it's not like people hate. It's not like a terrible game.
It just gets more mixed reviews.
But it gets more mixed reviews, and for some reason, it just hit with me, and I want to play it. And I'm going to pick it in our. Devin and I are doing a 4x4, 4x5 kind of thing.
Play 4 games,
we
4
each
times
pick 2
in a year.
games. And we just play them because 10x10 is outrageous. So I'm picking Trismegistus. She's picking Amerigo.
Yeah, hell
and
yeah,
we haven't
baby.
picked the other ones yet.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Depending. Nice. Do
Yeah.
you guys have any honorable mentions you want to
I
talk
have
about?
so many good ones. You want to
Do you
hear
really?
them?
So many.
Circadians, Great Western Trail, Anachrony, Cartographers,
Yeah, Cartographers.
Dune,
It's on
Imperium, Praga, Galaxy Trucker, Grand Carnival, The
Galaxy
Lost Ruins
Trucker.
of Arnak.
Yeah,
I've only
did you
played
hate
it
that?
once.
I know, that's what I said. I thought you hated it.
I won't let him get rid of it.
Oh, you're
She
shit.
wouldn't let him. I wasn't
Shut
going to get
up,
rid of
shut
it.
up.
He's never getting rid of that game. That game's staying.
Yeah, hell no.
Lost Ruins. Well, he already did.
You already did it.
No,
once.
but that was
That was like
only
the big
because
one. that was the big
Yeah.
box.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, Lost Ruins of Arnak, Maracaibo,
Maracaibo.
Mombasa.
Yeah, Dead Bodies.
Aren't those all
Dead
so
Bodies.
good?
Those on mine. Those
It
are
was
all
so hard
good.
for me to just pick 5.
Those are all good. Cartographers is on mine too. Jeff, what about you? Got any honorables?
I have Calimala. I have Amerigo. I have CO2, which I've only played once.
Oh, great
good
game.
one.
Crusaders.
Oh yeah.
Thy Will Be
Thy Will Be Dune.
Dune. And then Sorcerer's City was on.
Nice.
My
Yeah,
list
yeah.
as
We
well.
played that a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an awesome one. Sweet.
What about you?
Well,
Yanni?
mine were like all yours.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much all yours are. Yeah.
That's true.
So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at MadBoardGamer. Both of those accounts serve us the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. You can just search Gamecasters. You'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have an incredibly barren BGG guild that I'm going to keep talking about every episode that you can head on over to that Natalie's not a part of. We are Guild 3678. If you like the show, we'd love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We've also got a Patreon now. If you want to support the show, and you can feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There is also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different merch that you can purchase at Gamecasters. You can get Gamecasters merch, Mad Board Gamer merch, Gateway gear. Head on over to redbubble.com/people/Gateway Network. So, for Natalie and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.
Crack pipes.
You are crazy.
And beer bongs. you stop doing that? People have to stop doing that at some point in their life.
Crack
like
pipes
you gotta,
and beer bongs?
yeah, you gotta stop doing a beer bong.
Beer bong.
Like once you're out of your 20s, you just gotta.
I don't
shut
honestly
that
even know
down.
really what a beer bong is. Is that where there's like a funnel and
Out of
there's a
your
tube
20s,
and they
you
just
mean
pour
once
the
you're out
beer
of
in the funnel and it goes
college,
into
you
the
should
tube?
stop doing that.
Yeah, out of your 20s. Yeah, you're 20 something.
What's the
you
point
shut
of a
it
beer
down.
bong? To just drink beer real quick?
Yeah, drink it fast.
Why can't you just do that in a cup?
You can. That's just
can.
called chugging.
Okay, what's the difference?
Nothing.
Well,
It's
the
just
beer
one
bong
looks cooler because it's
Well,
coming
beer
out of-
bong is
No,
hard because you.
it comes out of a keg, so you're not just like limited to like the cup size, I guess, right?
I thought. Okay, so a beer
No,
bong is
the,
not just
the
a
bong
funnel?
is the funnel thing.
Oh,
A keg stand is what you're talking about. What are you
thinking
talking about?
keg
Keg
stand.
stand.
yeah.
When
It's a
Allie's
different
like,
level of
like I
debauchery,
know.
Natalie.
I
Totally
clearly have
different
never
level of
done either.
debauchery.
Keg stand is where you hold your legs up. Yeah. Or you've done all of them. You're
Yeah,
confusing
beer bong
them.
is where you drink beer with a Billabong shirt on.
Oh my god, I used to love Billabong.
Oh man, yeah,
when I
you
was a
did.
teenager.
We know.
Remember Pac-Sun?
We know you billabonged it up.
you.
Remember Pac-Sun? That
Yeah,
store?
Pacific
Yeah, did you go to-
Sunwear.
Did you go to Spencer's a lot too?
Nope.
How about
Yeah, right.
Aeropostale?
Yeah, Aeropostale.
Yeah. I was.
You wear puka shell
I
necklaces?
refused to wear
Puka shell.
Abercrombie though.
Oh, you did? Okay, you were. That was the line.
Yeah.
Halliburton.
Line drawn.
Aeropostale.
Why? Because it was Han made in USA?
Ooze are terribly oppressed.
This is for you, Patreon.
The Han
backers.
people. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
How do we just like turn that off?
Is it still recording?
Yeah. But I'm writing down the time, so.
Shut the camera off. Save the battery.
Damn it. You spilled Cobra's beer. Natalie, go ahead.
You spilled Cobra's beer.
All right, Jeff.
Give it up for Saracen for banging Coach's daughter.
Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Suck my dick. Go.
Hello, hello, hello. Wait,
Check,
what is
check,
it?
check.
Oh, sorry. Start over.
Let me start over.
Hello, hello, hello. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Suck my dick.
Oh, I said deck, but
Deck?